Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 265. Championship series are set. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. How are we doing tonight, Harrison?
Fantastic, Nick. It's been a great week of baseball, and off to the championship series we go.
A couple of great game fives. We'll definitely jump into those. That 15-inning epic game against the Tigers and Mariners. We'll talk all about it. We'll dive into it. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also listen. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors. We have Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you get any of these products with these companies, please do it through our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show.
Yeah. Hey, Captain. Good to see you, bud.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute for sure.
We're starting off hot.
Yeah.
Minute and a half in.
Yeah. Also have Rounding Third merch. If you search Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy, we have sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers, whole bunch of stuff on there. Just another great way to support the show and to get our name out there. And everybody that has gotten merch looks absolutely incredible in it. So check it out and support us by wearing some of our gear. Also on Patreon, just another way to support us and build the baseball community that we want. So it's a nice small community where we talk baseball. We have an ongoing chat about what's going on around the league. And we're looking to put a lot of stuff there in the future. We really want to build that up and get that going. So we can have some live trivia games over there and just really have fun in a smaller space. So check us out on Patreon and become a member of the Rounding Third page. So check that out. All right, let's dive into some news first, get that out of the way. And by news, I mean just this. Paul Goldschmidt retires. So pretty much announced it right after the Yankees lost. He said he's given baseball all he's got. And he put together quite a solid career. 288 career hitter, 2,190 career hits, 372 home runs, 1,232 RBIs, 174 career stolen bases for a first baseman's pretty dang good, and a 63.8 career WAR. When you think back on Paul Goldschmidt's career, what are your thoughts?
I mean, there was a stretch there where Goldie was, if not the best, one of the best first basemen in the entire game. He was a scary guy to have to face. He hit for average, hit for power. Very disciplined, very patient. He was a guy that was an incredibly challenging out. So, I mean, for quite a stretch there, he was one of the elite. The fade for him came fast. The drop off was quick, and it was, the bat slowed down. He couldn't catch up to the fastballs anymore, and it was kind of sad to see him finish up his time with the Yankees basically as a platoon guy, as Ben Rice kind of pushed him out of the way. But I do think that Paul Goldschmidt went to New York with knowing that was a possibility, that he would be the guy for a little while and split time and make room for the young kid, and probably mentored him. And I think that's a great way for him to go out, is to kind of pass the baton to a young player. That's the kind of guy that Goldschmidt seemed to be. So overall, great career. I really enjoyed watching him. Sad to see him go, but I can appreciate what he did.
Yeah, absolutely. John Temple says he was the best first baseman in baseball for 6 years. Easy. I agree. Yeah. And
he's a nightmare.
And capping 500 home runs gets you in. Yeah. We talk about those automatic milestones. He's short of that. He's not Hall of Fame, but pretty stinking good. I mean, all around.
He's the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people, like me in particular, who I'll always think of him as one of the better players of this era, knowing that he's not Hall of Fame worthy, but he was still a great player.
Yeah. And I mean, I was excited for the Cardinals there for a while. They get Goldschmidt, they make that trade for Arenado, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, those two guys back to back in that lineup is going to do some damage. Cardinals just couldn't quite get it figured out. Even though those two had some incredible seasons back to back, the other 7 in the lineup, they just couldn't quite figure out. So it's kind of tough to see that there. But overall, I think he's absolutely incredible. And I'll always remember the type of player he was. So,
yeah. True professional, true pro.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do the Yankees do? Are they keeping Ben Rice there? Are they going to go out on the free agent market? Maybe a Pete Alonso? What are the Yankees going to do?
Yeah, I think the Yankees have a lot of decisions to make this offseason with the core they've got in place, with some of the guys that they've got to make decisions on. Honestly, I think if Alonso is there, I think that Cashman's going to make a run at him. I just think the window to win is always open for the Yankees. It's never closed.
Right.
And I don't think that Hal and that whole group is going to take the fact that they're in the second longest World Series drought sitting down. I expect the offseason to be pretty big for them. And they need to make some decisions on guys. They've got contracts that are expiring. They got guys that got options. They've got players they might need to move on from. They got holes. That team's got holes they got to fill. That bullpen is a train wreck. I'll be curious what they decide to prioritize, because you've got a hole at you need a shortstop. You got to figure out shortstop. You got to figure out first base. You got to figure out catcher. You got to figure out your bullpen. There's a lot to work with there.
Yeah, Flat Cheese wants him to stay in Queens. I think a lot of Mets fans are with you. I think
Alonso wants to stay in Queens.
Yeah, I think you'll see the polar bear in the Bronx now, and so does Yated Hanky. So the rumors that I have heard is that he's seeking a 7-year deal. Is he going to get a 7-year deal anywhere?
No. I mean, I think Pete is primed for like a 3 or 4 year deal with an option or two that maybe gets him to 5 years. I don't think that's anywhere close to what anybody is going to give him. And the issue is not that he's not good. I mean, he turns 31 this offseason. He's coming off of yet another season of 30 plus home runs. The bat, he still gets beaten by good fastballs, but a lot of guys do anymore with these 100+ mile per hour fastballs.
Facts.
I think the concern with him is that, what do after 34, 35, like what does the polar bear have left for you? Can that bat catch up? Is he another Goldschmidt who the fall off is fast, and he can't feast off the fastball anymore? 7 years I think is insane. I think he's a 4 or 5 year contract guy at the high end, but who knows? Maybe if somebody really, really needs to get him there and wants to try to keep the AAV a little bit lower, maybe they could stretch it and give him a 7-year deal, and they see that as an option. But he couldn't get anything last year longer than 2 or 3 years. And that's why eventually he just went back to the Mets. I just don't think this offseason, all of a sudden ownership is going to be like, yeah, let's give you a 7-year deal heading into a lockout.
Do you think maybe a team gives them a 5 with a couple opt-ins for both or opt-outs for both?
I think he's going to be lucky to get a 3 or 4 with an opt-in or 2 to get him to 5. I just feel like guaranteeing a guy at 31, a big-bodied first baseman who plays okay defense and is already slowing his bat's already showing signs of slowing down, to give him more than 3 or 4 years is almost criminal. But I think making that kind of commitment is going to be tough.
Yeah, Musicum just pay the man. Yeah, polar bears.
I mean, we saw Paul Goldschmidt's fall off. We saw Miguel Cabrera's fall off. He was basically a replacement level player the last 3 or 4 years of his career. These big body corner infielders, after about 35, there's not much left.
Yeah. So 3 years, 50 with an option for 4. I mean, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. I think this year more than last, there are teams that are going to be seeking a first baseman. Now,
yes,
you have the Red Sox, right? Tristan Casas is out with that ruptured tendon. Maybe the Red Sox just say, We're moving on. Maybe they go in after him. You got the Diamondbacks that have a ton of money coming off the books. Maybe they go after him there. If the Mariners don't re-sign Josh Naylor, there's a hole in Seattle. Does he go there? I mean, you have some teams that might be willing to fork over some cash to get Pete Alonso in their lineup. I think there's a better market for Pete this offseason than there was last. Because as we've said, Soto and Ohtani completely jacked up the market for everybody. And I don't think Kyle Tucker quite will to the extent that Soto and Ohtani did. Is Tucker great? Yes, absolutely. Had kind of a down year this year. Well, down year for Kyle Tucker. So I don't think he's going to be necessarily jacking up the market like Soto and Ohtani. I could be wrong, but I think Alonso has better options out there this offseason than he did.
Yeah, I think the market this year is going to be a lot different than the last couple, and I think it's going to be a much more normal market. The issue is we say all that, but at the same time, general managers and front offices are looking at the fact that, like, okay, we got 26, but we know 27 is likely going to be lost. Anything we're deciding to do now, we have to take into account we're likely going to lose some or all of a season with a work stoppage. How does that factor into how you're building these future plans and signing contracts?
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, the demands will definitely come down, right? I mean, people are going to get that 7-year deal on their phone and just scoff at it and be like, yeah, no, thanks. Try again. Call me back in a few days.
Yeah, 7 years, 20 million per, sure. Because then I can average out the fact that the first few years will be great and the last 4 you're going to suck.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to like the interest he gets or the offers he gets with that kind of ask. But at the same time, I mean, you can ask for anything you want. And you can put it out there, you want 7 years. And everybody can say, no, but we'll give you. And then you can find out what people really are interested in.
That's fair. Yeah. Highball them.
Because I think you're right. I think there are going to be more teams that this year than last year that are going to be calling to find out his status. Because 4 straight All-Stars, second year in a row, he's played 162, another 35-plus home run season. I mean, when it comes to first baseman, he is in that upper probably, 15%, 20%.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no reason to think teams aren't going to be like, yeah, I'd like to have Pete Alonso in my lineup every day. But I also can't just give him whatever he wants.
Right. I agree.
Cap, and hopefully he has a realistic agent.
Yeah.
Well, was it Alonso that fired Boris last year?
I don't know. He gets fired by a couple clients each year. It seems like I don't remember if Alonso did or not.
Somebody let him go.
I know it was Montgomery the year before.
Oh, that's right. It was Montgomery to let him go. I think Alonso threatened it, but I don't think he did.
Yeah. So where do you think the best fit for Pete Alonso is? If it's not the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Pete Alonso, there's 2 teams I immediately have interest in joining. The Red Sox, because the Monster would be absolutely a fantastic place for me to play half my games. And the Yankees, so I can stay in New York. He is a New York guy. And honestly, he's a Mets guy. Like he grew up a Mets fan, if I remember correctly. So to him, he wants to be a Met. If not a Met, Yankees, I think would be his second choice to stay in New York. But being a home run hitter, Fenway would be a great place for him. Yeah. I don't know this a lot about. I don't think he wants to go out west, and I'm not sure there's any great fits for him out west. Maybe a team like the Rangers if they're going to try to mix things up. A lot of those other teams just don't have the budget and they're in a rebuild mode, so it might be challenging to find a lot of other options. I will say one sleeper in all this might be the Cubs if Tucker moves on.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't hate that. But well, speaking of the Cubs, Harrison.
Oh, look at that.
Let's start breaking down the DS. Well, we're going to start in the National League. We're going to break down Game 5. We're going to go into the NLCS preview. Then we'll get over to the AL as we are live watching Seattle and Toronto right now. So Game 5, bullpen game for both. Now, fans kind of up in arms about this. You have a winner take all, and both teams are in full bullpen mode. Now, like, I get it, right? It is all hands on deck when it is a winner take all. I get it. But when you're starting off as a bullpen game, like, you don't have legit starters going out there. Like, you have openers. What was it? McGill and Pomerantz started game 5.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Uh,
Crazy. In a
uh,
winner take all, you have a bullpen game. Wild.
yeah, and Council was actually talking about the fact that strategically he thinks it's their best option because they literally can just play inning by inning, matchup by matchup. And I mean, Imanagi even came in out of the bullpen in game 5, and they had everybody available. Literally everybody that hadn't thrown in the last day or two was out in the bullpen waiting for a call. And Council thought that was the best strategy, was to just continue to be flexible and adjust to the game and adjust to the matchups. But I will say for him, it didn't work out great. Worked out okay for the Brewers though.
Yeah. All right. So is the Brewers playoff curse the Brewers' fault, or is it Craig Council's fault? Because the Cubs didn't get out of theirs.
The Cub, there's a lot to unpack with the Cubs, and we could probably do a whole show on it. But I think the headlines to me for the Cubs is I still think Council is still think Council tries to outsmart everybody, and he ends up outsmarting himself. I do think Council is a problem. I do think that lineup was wildly inconsistent throughout the second half of the year, and you saw that in the playoffs. They would just die. They would just go quiet for inning after inning after inning. Long stretches of nothing. And I think that they still kind of lack an identity. They don't have, and I know that missing Justin Steele Justin Steele being there changes a lot. Losing him hurts, but like I look around that team and I'm like, who's really the guy there? Like, who's the leader? Who's the guy that rallies the troops? I just don't know who it is. I feel like that team just so seriously lacks a personality, and they play boring. They play flat. They're not energetic. They're not, the Brewers dugout, every time like a ball was fouled off, they were like jumping on their feet. The Cubs dugout, it was like it was an April game. It was like it was no big deal.
Yeah, it's fair. So there's 4 solo home runs hit in this game. Brewers hit 3 of them. Cubs hit 1. And that's that. Brewers move on. I mean, nothing really else to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Brewers, interestingly enough, Mizorowski ended up pitching 4 innings and got the win in that game and gave up Suzuki's home run. But Mizorowski was great in the playoffs for them after having a really terrible September. Really kind of a terrible most of the second half he was terrible, but a really terrible September with a 6+ ERA.
Yep.
I think you saw Mizorowski find his stuff in the playoffs when they needed him. Kind of headline number 1. Headline number 2 is the most underappreciated trade of the entire friggin' trade deadline was Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And Andrew Vaughn had including the second solo home run in this game for them that ended up being the game winner. He had so many big hits for them down the stretch in the playoffs. That might be the one trade that just doesn't get talked about enough. He has been so clutch for them and does not get nearly the credit he deserves.
Yeah, I think that's the best trade at the deadline, no doubt. And from everybody in the Brewers camp, they love the dude and what he brings to that team.
Yep.
And I mean, why wouldn't you if he keeps coming through, right? Easy guy to like when he keeps winning your ball games.
Yes, absolutely. But
yeah,
he was so good for them.
Yep. So Brewers finally win their first playoff series since I think it was 2018. And we got the Dodgers. So NLCS.
Yeah, hey, you beat the Cubs and I get to go face the Dodgers. Lucky you.
Yeah, congratulations. Here you go. Yeah. So NLCS preview here, Harrison. Dodgers postseason experience versus Brewers youth and contact.
Yeah.
What are the keys for both teams and who comes out on top?
Yeah, this to me is a really tough one because there's reasons to pick either one of them. I will say that, and we said this a couple weeks ago, I think the Milwaukee Brewers are the worst matchup for the Dodgers because that pitching staff relies so heavily on swing and miss. And when they don't get swing and miss and you actually get the ball in play and you start rallies going, these pitchers tend to struggle. They just they don't have that next gear where they can go and change momentum. And we've seen that with Snell in his career. We've seen that Yamamoto, he got touched up the other day. Once that momentum builds, they have a tough time stopping it. And defensively, they're also not great, which also works into the contact argument. So I think the Brewers are an incredibly tough matchup for them. They pitch well. Their bullpen is very good, where the Dodgers is not very good. Although it has been, I think throwing everybody and their brother in the bullpen has certainly helped. And Sasaki's finally settled in.
This is awesome, Cooper. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, man.
So John Temple's calling Brewers in 6. Captain says Dodgers pitching has been suspect at times, so the Brewers need to keep hitting. Yeah. So for me, the keys are, I think, everything you just said, right? Brewers need to cut down on the strikeouts, I think, even more. They got to put the ball in play. They got to put pressure on the Dodgers defense. And you got to get to the Dodgers bullpen, because we've seen if the Dodgers starters can go deep, they have their bullpen set how they want to. They can get to Treinen. They can get to Sasaki, who has been lights out in his closer role. No one's touching him coming out of the bullpen. It's disgusting.
Not even a little bit.
His splitter's got like 24 inches of vertical downward movement. It's gross. And like, that's 82 miles an hour, and then he backs it up with 102. I don't care who you are, you're not touching that. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh home run to tie it.
Nice. Love that. Oh, you're ahead by a lot. Love it.
Oh, geez. Sorry. I didn't mean to break the news nobody's seen. Cal Raleigh just homered to tie it 1-1.
It's fine. It's okay. I'm lucky I have baseball down here in North Carolina, so that's fine.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, that was touched. Love that.
Yeah, that was smoked.
So for me, that's the key for the Brewers, is they have to put constant pressure on the Dodgers. If they get a few innings where they can't even get the ball in play, I think they could be in trouble. I think they could start getting into their heads. But you got to get to the Dodgers bullpen early and make them eat up their arms, because other than, I would say, Vesia, Treinen, and Sasaki, they're not very deep. So you got to get to them.
No, and adding Kershaw didn't help. I mean, and Glasnow, they used him out of the bullpen as like a work day for him. He went in and pitched an inning just to get his work in on the mound,
right,
live.
Yep. Now the key for the Dodgers is Ohtani somehow has to get out of this Aaron Judge postseason mode. I mean, we're hitting a buck.
He said it. He said it, ladies and gentlemen.
I did. Right? Someone actually blew me up because, you're all over Judge. How come you're not on Ohtani? I'm like, just give me time. Yeah. It's coming. Because 186 out of Ohtani's not going to cut it, setting the table for that Dodgers lineup. Now, listen, the reason 186 is working for Ohtani is because he's got Betts, Freeman, Will Smith. He's got guys behind him.
Yeah,
he does. That lineup is deep. So it's the Brewers. I mean, the Dodgers are going to be hard to beat. They really are. Because I have said it before. You are not going to get through those 5 hitters 4 times in a ball game and not get hurt at least once.
Yep.
They're going to make you pay at least once an off season, or once a postseason series, or once a game. Sorry, goodness.
Yeah, somebody's going to get you. I mean, and it can vary night to night, but I mean, Shohei does not have a good playoff track record in general, and he's continuing to show that. And I'm with you, Evangelista. I'm concerned at this point. I feel like a Dodgers repeat is becoming more and more expected.
Yeah. And yes, I'm sorry that I brought Aaron Judge up, because he did have an incredible postseason, right?
He had an incredible game and an okay postseason outside of that.
Well, game 3 and game 4, I would say were both incredible. It's just game 4, nobody else helped him.
As bad as as bad as Shohei's been numbers wise, he's almost there with Judge.
Yeah. So, like, I get it. But yeah, I am worried that the Dodgers are going to get back to the World Series and we'll have our first repeat winner since, what was it, 2000?
2000, because it was what,
Yeah.
98, 99, 2000 for the Yanks.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. Are there any other keys in that series that you think we should watch out for?
The only thing I would harp on is that the Brewers are going to have to keep the pressure on. It's not just a matter of stringing a few hits together. It's going to be stealing bases. It's going to be forcing them. You're going to have to attack the Dodgers, attack relentlessly, and keep them on their heels. And you cannot give up the big hit. You cannot give up the 3-run home run to Teoscar. You cannot give up the surprise home run to Edman. You have to minimize the damage from the other players. You can't have Kike hit a 2-run bomb in the second inning. You have to minimize that damage. So I think for the Brewers' play style is perfect for this series because it's what the Dodgers don't handle well. However, the Dodgers just need one of those guys to run into one, and all that hard work goes away. So I like the matchup here for the Brewers. I think it's the worst one for the Dodgers, but at the same time, it's the Dodgers.
Yep.
And the Brewers have to just keep the pedal to the metal.
I'm also worried that it's starting in Milwaukee, right? Because the Dodgers, all they have to do is go in and steal one, and they've completely flipped that series.
Yep.
Right? If roles were reversed, I would rather have the Brewers go into LA to start to try to steal one and then come back home and get 3 straight games.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time,
it's tough.
The Brewers won a 3-2 series. They won every home game.
Yeah, that's fair.
They were not nearly as good on the road. So for the Brewers to be successful, I think having 4 games at home plays to them. I do not want to have to rely on them to steal one in LA. I think they could.
Fair.
I just do not want to see them have to rely on that.
Yeah, absolutely fair.
Yeah. You did, Hank. I don't disagree.
Yeah. Brewers need to pitch to Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman and not pitch to Kike for sure. But
100%.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if you're the Brewers, if you can get through, the problem with the Dodgers is you get through the Hall of Famers at the top of the order and you're like, oh man, I can take a breath. And then you hang a changeup or something to Teoscar or Kike and they hit it 400 feet. It is so demoralizing to think you got through the worst of it and then you just get nipped at the end. Like you have to keep the intensity up with this team. You cannot let one of those guys sneak one in there because that completely blows up your chance to leverage getting through that top of the order.
Yeah, and they have guys that can turn that lineup over. So, you got a guy at the bottom that's hot, Tommy Edman, or Andy Pages is no slouch either.
No,
he's had an incredible
year.
season. So they get on base, and then all of a sudden you have Ohtani and Betts coming up. You have nowhere to put them. You have to pitch to them. That's when you get in trouble. You got to get the bottom of the lineup out for sure. Face those guys with the least amount of men on base as possible.
Yep. And I will say one thing too is that the Brewers are kind of right-handed heavy on the pitching staff. And having Ohtani and Freeman in the top 3 of that order doesn't necessarily fit great for that. Thankfully, those right-handers throw, Mizrowski throws a heavy sink to it. So you've got a weapon for him, but right-handed heavy against a couple of dangerous lefties. We saw in the playoffs last year when Freddie's hot, you give him right-handed pitching and he will just feast on it.
The dude had one ankle and he's still out there just smoking the ball all over the ballpark. It's crazy.
And he was hitting lefties and righties. Nestor
matter.
Cortez is a whole nother story, but still.
Yeah. Crazy. So what's your final prediction in this series?
I don't know. I don't know what to do with this series. Honestly, I think it's going to be an absolute nail biter, but I said it last week. I picked the Cubs to win. I really was not upset to see the Brewers win. I've kind of wanted to see the Brewers go through. I just couldn't trust them. I really don't want to see the Dodgers win. So I'm going to take the Brewers in 7. I think this one goes the distance. I think it's a nail biter back and forth. I think the Brewers have the weapons to neutralize some of what the Dodgers do and drive their pitching staff crazy and wear them down. And for that reason, I'm going to say Brewers in 7.
I think I'm leaning that way because I think the Brewers are built more for the long haul pitching staff wise. I think they're a little bit deeper there. Maybe not necessarily in the starting rotation because I think, like I said, if the Dodgers starters are on, it could be a long series for the Brewers. It really could.
Yep.
But if, like we said, they keep the constant pressure on, I think the league will have to come back and be like, you know what? We have to make this a 9-game series. So I'm going to take the Brewers in 9.
I
But
mean, the Brewers have to play every night like it's Game 7. It's got to be full
yeah,
on, full speed, 100 miles an hour. There's no tomorrow.
yeah. I mean, like I said, the only thing I'm worried about. So realistically, I think this is the Dodgers in 6. I do. I hate it. I hate because I want to see the Brewers in the World Series too. But postseason experience matters, especially at this stage of the game.
Yep.
It's so unfortunately, I think I have to go Dodgers in 6, and I absolutely hate it. Yeah. So Evangelista,
I can't bring
Dodgers
myself
in
to pick the
5.
Dodgers. I just can't do it.
I mean, I picked the Yankees against our Red Sox in the wild card, in the wild card round, and that killed me. But I'm just going with my baseball brain and not what I want. So, because I want the Brewers, I do, but I just think, Seattle is taking the lead 2-1.
2-1 Polanco.
Yep, that dude's been hot.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's Dodgers in 6. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my fear in when I sit there and think about what I think is really going to happen, I feel like this is a Blue Jays Dodgers World Series. I feel like that's where it's heading. However, I'm going to take the underdog and hope they've got enough.
Yeah, and this is kind of what worries me a little bit, but I do love the Brewers game. Like they know they don't have the firepower, and they're just like death by 1,000 cuts every game, right? It's the long ball, it's the 9 base hits and 2 innings that kills you. They can do it. I think this is the only team that possibly could. I think it is all dependent on the success of the Dodgers starters. If the Dodgers starters go out and shove, it's a long series for the Brewers. If Snell and Yamamoto and those guys get shelled early, it could be a long series for the Dodgers. So I think my biggest key is the Dodgers starting pitching. No matter which way it goes, I think determines the series.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen the Dodgers offense can be slowed down or shut down. They didn't exactly pour a ton of runs in against the Phillies. That was not a great offensive showing from them. It didn't need to be,
right?
But they had the pitching, and the Phillies couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. But I mean, the Dodgers didn't exactly put up a ton of runs on them.
Yeah, yeah. I think everybody, like baseball fans, want to see a Mariners Brewers World Series. They want to see two teams go for their first World Series title. And we know for a fact, if that happens, that one of them gets it. So like that would be incredible for baseball fans. But
the league office would hate it because it'd be like the worst it'd be the worst ratings they've had in a long time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's switch over to the ALDS Game 5, Tigers and Mariners, Game 5. Holy cow. I don't even have a dog in this fight, and I didn't sit down from the 6th inning on. So Skubal and Kirby pitching duel. Skubal, 13 Ks again, one of three guys to ever have multiple 13K games in a playoff series, which is crazy because only one of them won a game, and that was Garrett Cole a few years ago.
That's wild.
That's wild. So Carpenter hits a 2-run go-ahead homer after Wilson pulled Kirby for Spears. So now, listen, Carpenter had great success off Kirby, so I get it, right? He was like
Yep.
6 for something with 5 home runs off Kirby. So yeah, go to the bullpen. However, the Tigers saw Spear 4 other times already that series,
Yeah.
and it just didn't work. Whatever, because he then gives up a 2-run homer to Spear to Carpenter anyways. And then we get Rivas tying the game. Nice rookie Rivas for the Mariners tying the game with a base hit to left. So we got 2-2, and then here we go. We are flying down the stretch. It's edge of your seat, runners on every inning. Both teams getting out of it. Every single inning, they somehow find a way out. Huge strikeouts, huge double play balls, like weird plays, whatever. Each team gets out of the inning. We go to extras. We get to the 11th. We have no outs. And we have a runner on second. And JP Crawford is up. Why aren't we trying to bunt him to third to have a guy on third with less than 2 outs? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, my initial reaction was you knew they were going to walk Cal Raleigh already. And if you're going to put a guy on third with 1 out, you're probably going to walk a Rosarina too and load him to try to see if you can't roll a double play, which was it Melton pitching at that point?
I believe so.
And he throws gas down in the zone. So he's a great candidate to get a ground ball. So in my mind, it was one of those things where it's like you can bunt him, but then you're guaranteed to take the bat out of a Rosarina and Raleigh's hands and leave it up to Julio, which isn't necessarily the worst thing you could do. But a guy that didn't have good numbers against Melton. So I think it's one of those, you could have done it. I think you might have ended up in the same place, but at least you would have put some pressure on them because you could have gotten an overthrow that brought him in. Like you could have made something happen out of that play. As we talked about, put the ball in play. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
That could have been a bunt that got thrown away. I mean, we've seen throws to home plate get thrown away this week. So, I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought that was an obvious bunting scenario. And for the reason you laid it out, right? Okay, yeah, they take the bat out of a Rosarina's hands. They take the bat out of Raleigh's hands. You have Julio sitting there. And he's still a guy that I would trust to get the job done, or at least put the ball in play in that spot. And you got 2 shots at it. It's 1 out. The only way you don't have a shot at it is if he does hit into a double play. But chances are they're going to bring the infield in with 1 out. Maybe they push the middle infielders back to get a double play. I would almost doubt it, though, if that's the winning run. That's the series winning run. You have to bring everybody in. I don't think you have a choice. You might play
the middle medium depth so they can get a little more range to turn the double play. But yeah, I mean, everybody's going to lose some range. But in that case, you might have the corners on the grass and you might have the middle infielders playing in the baseline.
Yeah.
So that they can turn it faster. But either way, it is very much a gamble as to what's going to happen. And I will say, Melton, who loves to throw that fastball up in the zone when he thinks that you're trying to do something like that, was going to be real hard to bunt on. And I know Crawford's a good bunter. Honestly, I kind of forgot he was a good bunter because he just doesn't do it much anymore.
Nobody does it much anymore.
Nobody does. But I mean, part of me is like, yeah, you take the bat out of the other guy's hands, but at the same time, you put pressure on the defense. Intense moments, crazy stuff happens. I mean, I think if nothing else, you just create some chaos, which may or may not go your way.
Yeah, you have, to your point, you have way more pressure on you with the bases loaded and 1 out than you do with 2 outs and a runner on second. There's way more pressure. Unlike you look at Phillies Dodgers, how that series ended. All he had to do was go to first base. But what did he do? He panicked. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. So for me, it's a clear bunting situation. And for what everybody's saying in here, like it's sabermetrics, it's all of that stuff. It's, don't give them a free out because that never works. Like, we have to get back to basics of baseball at some point. And this, to me, it's the bottom of the inning. You literally have nothing to lose here. If you don't score a run, guess what? there's another inning of baseball, which, happened. But you had a chance to put intense pressure on the Tigers in the 11th, and you chose not to do it. Now, it did work out for them, right? We did end with a Jorge Polanco walk-off, who, to me, I think was the MVP of the DS. Polanco has been huge for the Mariners. Key hits off Skubal, the 2 home run game off Skubal. They beat him. They beat Tarek Skubal 4 times in this series. Or, sorry, 4 times all year.
Yeah, and they've owned him.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And what's amazing is here's a guy in Polanco who hit a $182 with 4 hits, but every single one of them mattered. 2 home runs off Skubal, a game winner. I mean, 3 of his 4 hits were absolute series and game changers.
Yeah.
And he hit 182.
Yeah.
Just picked his spots.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
But I think in many cases, and we went over this the other day, is that Dan Wilson, I think, managed scared through a lot of this series. He managed like he was losing. He managed games to not lose.
Right.
And I think you saw a lot of that come out throughout that series. I hope you see a different Dan Wilson in the championship series. But this Blue Jays team is tough. This is definitely a different team.
This could be a dogfight of a series for sure. So
it could be. This is going to be a battle.
All right. So on that note, ALCS preview. Now, I did create this slide before the news came out, and I've had a lot of stuff going on here at home, so I wasn't able to change it. But so we know Bo Bichette is not on the ALCS roster. Brian Wu is back. So I have the Mariners pitching or the Blue Jays' ability to put the ball in play. The battle of the Space Needles. Where are we going?
I picked the Blue Jays at the very beginning, so I'm going to stay with them. I do think, I picked them assuming Bo Bichette would be back. So I'm feeling a little bit of a disadvantage that the Bo's still not back, but I'm going to stick with them. I picked them early on. I'm not going to jump ship now. In the NL, I don't have anybody in the championship series I originally picked, so I'm picking new over there. So I'm going to stick with the Blue Jays. I think they can cause enough chaos. Vladimir Guerrero's been absolutely unconscious hot.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays pitching is good. The bullpen is good. They can hit. The Mariners are dangerous, but I think that what we saw in the DS is that the Mariners offense is still a little streaky, and good pitching will still shut them down. And I think the Blue Jays have enough to make this interesting. So I'm going to go Blue Jays. I mean, this one could go the distance too. I feel like this one is going to be these are 2 very evenly matched teams.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with my Mariners pick because I had them in the World Series. I think it's going to be, I'll go 6. I'll go Mariners and 6 here. I did get a message from one of our followers, Jason Vandali. I hope I'm saying that right. He did ask me this question, and I'm wondering your thoughts, Harrison. Do you think the Jays are better off without Bichette right now? Pretty good chemistry on the team. The Blue Jays are rolling. If you bring Bo Bichette into this lineup, does that change things in their team chemistry? Or does it improve them? Because, Bo Bichette was one of the best hitters in the AL this year. Is chemistry that much of a factor for you at this point in the postseason?
I think chemistry is a big factor. You've got to know that you've got each other's backs, and that you've also got the familiarity with having played with somebody a bunch, and what they're going to do, what they're good at, how they play the position. Because we saw the Blue Jays have some issues on the left side of the infield defensively in the DS a couple of times as they move people in and out of there. So, Bichette is a stabilizing force there. I think the Blue Jays have found a mix that works in Bo's absence. So, yeah, I think he's right to a certain extent. They've kind of got a good thing going right now. However, Bo Bichette's one of the best hitters in the American League,
right?
And I don't see how not having him in the lineup would make the team better. So, I think yes, you are messing with kind of their mojo right now, but that would be a welcome addition to that lineup to have him back at the top, setting the table. Especially the fact that he and Vladdy have been together for so long too.
Yeah. I think I'm with you. And that's the way you just laid it out was exactly almost word for word what I said back to him was Bo's one of the best hitters in the AL this year. I mean, chemistry or not, you adding, 9 or 10 more hits into this lineup in this series, that's series changing. So chemistry aside, and just like you said, like he's played with them all year. It just happens that he got hurt these last few weeks, and it sucks timing wise. But I think you're going to take Bo Bichette in that lineup, 8 days out of 7. I'm taking him every day I can,
Yeah. And I think as Blue Jays fans, there's a comfort level with him being in there too, and a comfort level for the roster knowing that Bo's back.
Right.
And Captain, this is a great point. I mean, just because he's back doesn't mean he's going to be
Back.
Prime Bo Bichette.
Right.
There's still some rust to knock off being out for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, I mean, apparently he ran the bases today or this morning, just not good enough to go. Not that he can't play, just not good enough to go. So they thought it'd be better to take somebody healthier with them. It is disappointing he's not going to be there. I still think this Blue Jays lineup is deep, and we'll see.
It's interesting though if he was running. It seems like he's far away, right? Because if he's close to coming back, he's on the roster, right? I mean,
kind of like the Dodgers did with
right?
Will Smith. It's like you can't play every day, but you can play a little bit. We'll throw you on the roster, and my guess is that he's probably not as close as Will Smith was.
Yeah.
And for him too, where it's a leg injury and running and all that, like that affects side to side movement in the field. I mean, that affects everything. Will Smith's problem was a shoulder, which you can kind of muscle through, but when you can't move and you don't have your speed, which is a big part of his game, that's a little bit debilitating for a guy like him. So I think it's one of those things where if he's not at least like 90-95%, you just can't justify having him on the roster.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not in Devers locker room
No.
territory. Better with him for sure. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and Blake,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think that that's my kind of question here is like which one outweighs the other? Like, I don't know. Do the Mariners pitching kind of take away the Blue Jays contact, or does the Blue Jays contact, kind of overpower the Mariners pitching at some point? Like, I don't know. I think that's the question. And Harrison could be right with this one. This one could go back and forth. Could be a whole bunch of close games. Dope John says that they got Brian Wu going game 4. So he's in there. That's good. Give him a few more days to rest. That's nice.
Yeah, let him adjust back.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm taking the Mariners. So, and Harrison, you took the Blue Jays in 7. I'm going Mariners in 6.
Yeah, I think it's Blue Jays in 6 or 7. I'm not convinced that I'm not convinced this isn't going to be like just a back and forth, because these are all going to be close.
Yeah.
I mean, and tonight's a great example. Here we are. It's a 2-1 game going into the 7th inning. Not a lot of noise, not a lot of excitement. A game like this plays to the Mariners' strengths. This is not a Blue Jays game. The Blue Jays want to win games, 6-5, 7-4. They don't want to be in a bunch of 1-run games with the Mariners because they're not going to win those.
Yeah. Chad, this is a great point too.
Yeah.
This has to be a testament to how good the Blue Jays are. How many teams can lose a guy like Bichette and still be picked to win the pennant? I mean, yeah. Great point.
Yeah. Yeah, you lose one of your best players, and it's like, well, they've still got enough. And Santander is back. He's been quietly improving. He had a hit tonight. Like you're beginning to see some production out of him. Yeah, and Cap, and I actually think this is one of the better championship series matchups we've seen in a long time. Yep. These are two very evenly matched teams.
Yep.
That do a lot of the same things well.
Yep. I am here for it. Do both games play tomorrow, or do they have that random off day here in the AL and it's just NL tomorrow?
I believe it's just NL. No, sorry, both play. That's right. Then it's the off
Right,
day
and then it's the day. Yeah.
because 7-game series, so it's kind of you have the 2 games, a day off
Yeah,
for a travel day.
gotcha.
So the
Here we
schedule starts to compact a little bit. So it's
nice.
Tuesday that it's NL only.
Listening from Newfoundland. That's awesome. Thanks,
Awesome.
Evo. Yeah. Go Jays. Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly I'm pulling for 3 teams: the Mariners, the Blue Jays, and the Brewers. Because I am. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just how it is. Because the Dodgers are the Dodgers, man. They are my Yankees of the NL. They're there every year. I get it. They're freaking good. And I can respect the hell out of that. I just want to see somebody else win. I do.
Yep.
And I would love to see a Blue Jays and Brewers matchup because both of those teams are old school baseball. It is contact, it is defense. They do all the little stuff. We talked about it on Thursday about how they're complete opposite of how teams have been built lately. So I would love to see those two, but
Yep.
we will see.
Yeah, and the Blue Jay, like Blake says, the Blue Jays hitting late season has been very good. They
Yeah.
have made the adjustments with no Bo. And I go back to what we said like a month and a half ago, which our dream World Series is still Mariners Brewers,
Right.
so that we see somebody win for the first time. But we're still trying to pick based on what we think is going to happen, not necessarily what we hope will happen.
Yeah. Gino literally just hit the light blue stripe on the wall in right center field. Just missed a home run by like 4 inches. Crazy.
Oh, and they just brought in Varland. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Who's been good for them.
yeah.
But Gino's got to get into something here. The Mariners need him to have a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blake,
please, not the Dodgers.
Yeah, you are in the right place, Blake, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got Mariners in 6. Harrison's got Blue Jays in 7.
We'll go
I'm
7.
not upset either way. I am going to be pulling. I mean, I love the fact we have so many Mariners like fans on this podcast, and we've had a lot more Blue Jays fans on here lately, which is incredible. I love it.
I know.
So I just love that there are 2 new teams here that we haven't seen here in a while. I love that. And I love the parity in baseball, right? The no repeat winners for 26 years and all of that stuff. I love that. We see somebody new. So
yep.
I'm going to enjoy every second of this series.
Agreed. I think we have 2 great series. We get what will turn out to be 2 very good series. I do think Blue Jays Mariners is going to be, I think, more fun, but I do expect Brewers and Dodgers to be a very close one because the Dodgers, as the Phillies showed, good pitching can beat that team.
Yeah.
The problem is the Phillies just couldn't score
Right.
because there was just way too many strikeouts. The Brewers won't do that. So if the Brewers can mimic what the Phillies did, I think they'll be okay. Yeah. And if the Mariners do that to the Blue Jays are not going to win low scoring close games. That's not their MO. They're not a team that's going to win 2-1 games. This game right now is playing right into the hands of the Mariners. The Blue Jays need to be able to put some runs on the board because they're not a low scoring close game team.
Agree. All right. We will take a little break. We got some MLB trivia. And then after trivia, we will open it up to the chat and we can talk about whatever you want. We can stick with playoffs. We can go any direction you guys want. But first, let's take our episodely trivia break. What would that be? Our episodely trivia break? It's not daily. We're not on daily. So what would it be?
We're just going to take, we're going to take our I don't know. We're going to do trivia, guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. My brain is starting to shut off.
Let's not try to create words or get crazy here.
It has been a long weekend. So here we go.
All right, we got some line trivia for you, Nick. So I've got a mixed bag here of
episodic.
There it is. That's the word, episodic.
Oh, episodic. I even said it wrong. God. Okay. Anyways, episodic.
Yep. It's fun. We're just going to do trivia. We're going with that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I got a mixed bag for you of players we kind of forgot played there. not necessarily forgot, but it's like not the team you associate that player with. And then just some other colorful, fun characters that I think are worth talking about. So these are, I think
Great.
this will be some good fun, and chat, please jump in.
Yes, you're gonna have to help me because I am terrible at the missing lineup trivia. So help me out, please.
These are definitely harder.
Oh, great. Even better. Thanks. Okay.
No,
Here we
sorry.
go.
The lineups are harder than some of the other stuff that we do.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Because it's just they're so out of context that you just and my years blur together, all of that stuff. But whatever. Here we
It's
go.
not like I'm asking you for guys like Ken Griffey Jr. either. It's like I'm asking you for guys that are not necessarily top tier. But anyways, all right.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off. So this is the West, AL West, NL West. We've gone East, Central. Now we're in the West. So here we go, Nick. Number one. Who's missing from the 2009 Oakland Athletics opening day lineup? Around the outfield, you had Matt Holliday, Ryan Sweeney, and Jack Cust. In the infield, you had Kurt Suzuki behind the plate, Eric Chavez at third, Orlando Cabrera at short, Mark Ellis at second, this guy at first, and Dallas Braden on the mound. Who was the first baseman?
Of course, you left this guy off.
I know.
I actually got this one. Oh, so
when I was making the X's, I'm like, man, this is gonna be so obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either Encarnacion Saltalamacchia or it is Garcia Parra. It is Noma for sure. You forget that he went to Oakland.
Yeah, and he also played first base on opening day the following season, I believe, for the Dodgers.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah. So Nomar Garcia Parra was the starting first baseman on opening day for the Athletics.
Wow. Yeah, you even forget that he went over there.
Well, yeah, and played first base. You're like, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. But that was after he ripped the groin right off his bone, right?
Yeah, this was just him trying to extend his career at this point.
Yeah. Ugh.
He could not move like he did before.
No, gruesome injury that was.
It was pretty bad.
All right.
Here you go, Nick. Next one for you. Who's missing from the 1994 California Angels opening day lineup? Around the infield, you had Greg Myers behind the plate, Damian Easley at third, Gary DiSarcina at shortstop, Harold Reynolds at second, Eduardo Perez at first, Mark Langston on the mound. And around the outfield, you had this guy in left, Chad Curtis in center, and Tim Salmon in right. Who was the left fielder? When you see the picture I have of him, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember this moment.
Is it Bo?
It is Bo.
Wow. Angels and okay.
This was the clip of him just snapping the bat over his knee that goes around social media all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Bo Jackson and the sad part is I'm pretty sure games wise he played like so few because he got hurt.
Yeah.
But typical Bo Jackson form.
Wow.
And John, I so badly wanted to have Gary DiSarcina be the guy that we all guessed, but everybody would have gotten DiSarcina with the Angels.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Bo.
Good one.
All right, Nick, here we go. Who's missing from the 1999 Houston Astros opening day lineup? Around the infield, you had Tony Eusebio behind the plate, Ken Caminiti at third, Ricky Gutierrez at short, Craig Biggio at second, Jeff Bagwell at first, and Shane Reynolds on the mound. And around the outfield, you had Richard Hidalgo, this guy in center field, and Derek Bell. Who was the center fielder?
Can we just take a second about Tony Eusebio? That is a name I have not heard in a hot minute.
I was literally, my first reaction when I made this lineup was, man, I haven't heard Tony Eusebio's name in a long time.
Oh my God, what a blast.
And then look at the right side of that field, Bell, Biggio, Bagwell. I mean, what a consistent group that was.
I mean, Hidalgo, Gutierrez, and Caminiti weren't slouches either.
Caminiti was a monster.
Man, center fielder here.
Yeah, Blake, that lineup was stacked. It really was stacked. That lineup was deep.
It almost fits. It almost fits, Captain.
That's awesome, Captain.
It-
I mean, a dumpster almost would fit too. You could go if you had to change it up.
Center fielder here.
Waste bin. Nope, that's still 8. Again, we got to find a way to make that fit.
99 center fielder. It's not Michael Bourne. Carl Everett? Chad's asking Carl.
It absolutely was Carl Everett.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I never would have gotten that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, Carl Everett.
Wow.
Before he signed, it was before, pre-Red Sox, and it's funny, it's hard to find a picture of him in an Astros uniform because Houston took a lot of them out. Like when you look at their media and all that, they've taken a lot of it away.
I'm sure.
But just trying to make the guy disappear.
Wow.
But you can find his thoughts on dinosaurs. The fact they weren't in the Bible means they weren't real. You can find that all over the internet when you Google his name.
That's incredible.
Yeah. When you Google Carl Everett, all you get is the fact that he didn't think dinosaurs were real because they weren't in the Bible.
Yeah, well, they're made up anyways, so that's fine. I mean,
it's fair. And I think, what is the other theory? That pigeons are robots? Is that the other one?
Yeah.
So, it's fine.
Yeah. They're the way that the government can see everything. Pigeons.
It makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, this isn't a political show. Next one.
All right, Nick. And this one's for John too, especially. I hope John Temple's all over this one. Who's missing from the 1989 Seattle Mariners opening day lineup? Around the outfield, you had Greg Briley, Ken Griffey Jr., and Darnell Coles. Around the infield, you had Dave Valley behind the plate, Edgar Martinez at third, this guy at short, Harold Reynolds at second, Alvin Davis at first, and Mark Langston on the mound. Who was the shortstop?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Omar Vizquel. Yeah,
it is
for sure.
Omar.
All I sent to Harrison in the private chat was should be in the hall, and he goes, "Yep, correct."
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah.
And Mike, you don't need to be surprised because I'm pretty sure at some point Carl Everett did say he believed the Earth was flat. He was out there, kind of moving to the beat of his own drum.
Yep. Man.
So Omar Vizquel, I know he was a Mariner. I remember him as a Mariner, but when you ask me about him, I immediately just think Indians. I don't even think about the Mariners.
Same. I mean, it's both uniforms for me. It's the other ones towards the end of his career, like the Giants, the White Sox. Those ones
just popped up everywhere.
Ones are out. But for me, it was Mariners and Indians for sure. But man, nice one.
Good old Omar Vizquel. All right. This guy was a favorite of mine. So who's missing from the 1995 Texas Rangers opening day lineup? Around the infield, you had Ivan Rodriguez behind the plate, Dean Palmer at third, Benji Gill at short, Jeff Fry at second, Will Clark at first, and Kenny Rogers on the mound. And around the outfield, you had Billy Hatcher in left, Otis Nixon in center, and this guy in right. Who was the right fielder?
Was this Otis Nixon's 85th team at this point?
I'd probably use about like 49 this season, I think, at least.
This dude is on every single missing lineup trivia question, it seems like.
I swear. I come across him so often, it's not even funny.
Yeah. John Carter, I'm with you on this one. This is my guess as well. Rusty Greer.
It is absolutely Rusty Greer. I loved watching this guy play, and you'll see why in the next picture, because that was every night for this guy.
Yeah, he
was flying around the field. The funny thing is that he was a left fielder every season after this. He was only in right because they had at the time Billy Hatcher, who was still a base stealer and an effective player, playing left. So he started off in right, then eventually became the left fielder. But yeah, he was a monster.
Yeah, Yadid Henke, you weren't too far off with this.
You're close.
Yeah, but yeah, Greer. Yeah, nice job. Nice. Mariner killer. Yeah. Seems like everyone's a Mariner killer, John. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you don't make the playoffs a lot, it feels like everybody's picking on you.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Rusty Greer, a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, love that
One
one.
of those kind of glue guys that just gave you everything you had every night.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to let's look at our Rockies. Let's go back a little ways. Who's missing from the 1993 Colorado Rockies opening day lineup? Around the outfield, you had Gerald Clark in left, Alex Cole in center, and Dante Bichette in right. You had Charlie Hayes at third base, Freddie Benavidez at shortstop, Eric Young at second, Andres Galarraga at first, David Need on the mound, and this guy behind the plate. Who was the catcher?
Can I tell you, I recognize 4 names on this list. That is it.
Yeah.
4.
It's pretty bad.
Wow. Charlie Hayes, Eric Young, the Big Cat, and Dante are the only ones I recall.
Well, and like David Need started opening day. 3 years later, he's out of baseball. I mean, was not a very deep team. M's were a punching bag for a long time. You're not wrong, Captain.
Was this their expansion?
I think 92 was their first year. Oh, no, 93 was the first year, right?
So they must have started on the road, because I thought Billy Swift was the first person to ever, or first pitcher to ever.
Oh, that's right. Because 92 was the first year.
92 was the first year. Gotcha.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, 93 is the right year. Billy Swift started in 95.
Okay. Maybe because I thought he was the first one to. Oh, but they weren't playing at Coors the first couple of years, I don't think.
Correct.
That's why he was the first pitcher to throw one at Coors Field. That makes sense.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that's right. That was the trivia question was.
Yeah. And I think it's this guy too, John. Me and you are on the same level. Is it Joe Girardi?
It is absolutely Joe Girardi. He was actually there for a few years.
Yep. Wow.
Which honestly, I do not remember Joe Girardi with the Rockies at all.
Again, that's a time that we had almost zero access to the West Coast, like almost zero access to watching West Coast baseball.
So. Yeah, I mean, Girardi started the first 3 opening days for the Rockies, and I honestly do not remember him ever playing with the Rockies.
Yeah,
that's right. And he was with the Braves, then he went to the Rockies, and then he's out of baseball.
Yeah, so that this is what makes sense. 93, 94 was Mile High. That's right.
Yep.
They split their games there. But Scott Service, not a bad guess.
That's not a bad guess at all.
Yep. Nice musical.
Not a bad guess at all.
Joe Girardi. Nice.
Joey G. The Yankee. Always known as a Yankee.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Who is missing from the 2005 Los Angeles Dodgers opening day lineup? Around the outfield, you had Ricky Leday, Milton Bradley, and J.D. Drew. Behind the plate, you had Jason Phillips. At third, you had Jose Valentin, Cesar Torres at short, Jeff Kent at second, Haesop Choi at first, and this guy on the mound. Who was the pitcher? Nope.
No. But it fits perfectly.
It does fit perfectly. You're right.
That was my guess too, John. It's not right. It is not Hideo Nomo.
No. So this guy actually started.
Ricky Leday.
Yeah. Nomo was 2003 and 2004. Then this guy started 3 opening days in a row. Dick Mountain, not Dick Mountain. This guy is another one of those guys you kind of don't think of with the Dodgers, but he was very good there and made 3 open. He started on 05, 06, 07 opening day.
Kevin Brown's a good guess.
Kevin Brown's a good guess, but he was 02.
And the X's don't fit. Yeah, that's why I thought it was Hideo Nomo. I am stuck.
Yeah, Brown's a good guess, but it was too late for Kevin Brown.
Ricky Week without the S.
Yeah.
So, man, Jamie Moyer
threw a nasty sinker.
Everyone throws nasty sinkers now, Harrison. It doesn't narrow it down for me.
Not in 05, they didn't.
Man,
Nick,
man.
you watch this guy pitch a lot. A lot.
I watched him pitch a lot.
You watched him pitch a lot. He had a huge season in 2004.
Oh my, no way. It totally is. I forgot he went there after his 04 season. Chad, you are absolutely right. Derek Lowe. It just clicked. I forgot. Oh man.
That is
killer.
D-Low.
That one's killer.
Yeah. Derek Lowe. He was actually quite good in LA too.
Yeah.
Just kind of forgot about him being there because after 04, he just kind of left town. And
well,
I'm not even sure the Red Sox tried to re-sign him. I think he just kind of like split.
They couldn't. The postseason he won every single series clinching game for the Red Sox in 04. They couldn't. They're like, oh, we can't re-sign this guy. Someone's going to pay him more than we got. Yeah, after when he said, like, it took me a second for the sinker, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, duh. But
yeah, he signed a 4-year, $36 million deal. So $9 million per for it. Yeah, $9 million per for a guy that was probably not more than a, third starters. Yeah, and he was their ace.
Yeah. Well, at that time, that was decent. That was a decent contract.
That was a decent contract. That was not like huge crazy money, but it was at the upper end of the pay scale.
Yeah, for sure. Dang.
All right, this is a good one, Nick. I'm not sure how many people are going to just jump right on it and get it, but we'll see. All right. So who's missing from the 1988 San Diego Padres opening day lineup? Around the outfield, you had Keith Moreland, Stan Jefferson, and Tony Gwynn. Behind the plate, you had Benito Santiago. You had Chris Brown at third, Gary Templeton at short, Randy Reddy at second, this guy at first, and Ed Whitson on the mound. Who was the first baseman?
Only the best color guy in baseball booths across America. I know this one for sure.
Yeah, this is one of those. It's like people are either going to jump right on it and be like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize he played there.
There's a lot of guys that you're like, they came up in San Diego. I forgot that they were over there.
I know. It's like, wow, really?
Again, another time where us East Coasters never saw West Coast baseball. So, I mean,
we really didn't. And granted, the Padres were not good for a lot of that time frame, so it wasn't a team you would necessarily followed either.
Yeah, the only name I don't really recognize on this team is Tony Gwynn. I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, is he good? I mean, I can't.
I've never.
I feel like I've heard it somewhere, but
yeah, it's not Buck. It's
but
definitely not. It's definitely not Joe Buck. Definitely not.
It rhymes with Buck.
Yep. Randy Reddy might be one of the best baseball names I've heard in quite some time too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Another name I haven't heard in ages.
Yeah. We stump y'all here, or you guys just leave us, or we still thinking?
They're all watching Sunday Night Football. They don't care about us.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, there we go. Oh, here we go. 3-1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Polanco again.
Yep. Silix, it is John Kruk for sure. Nice job.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. John.
It is a very young John Kruk.
Love that. Nice.
A very young John Kruk.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, well, when I think of John Kruk, I just don't think Padres.
No one does. I mean, let's be completely honest. But yeah, Polanco is having himself a playoffs, man. He looks good. He's locked in right now.
Well, again, like he only gets hits when it matters. It's like
that's what the postseason's about, man. Yep. It's not about a 444 average when no one on base, you know.
That was Yaden Hankey didn't the third baseman hit his girlfriend. Different Chris Brown. Different Chris Brown. Well played. Well played.
Oh man. I got it. Man, amazing.
Oh God, I think Gwynn played a couple years and fizzled out. That sounds about right.
Yeah, wasn't that great.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Kruk
All right.
always tells Gwen stories on during the Phillies broadcast. I mean, it would make sense for
I
sure.
mean, he does tell a lot of stories about because he was with a lot of really great players throughout his career. He tells some awesome stories.
Yeah,
But yes, he does tell a lot of Tony Gwynn stories,
for sure.
which is probably why I like listening to him because Tony Gwynn was quite the guy to learn from.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Who was missing from the 1999 Arizona Diamondbacks opening day lineup? You had Luis Gonzalez in left, Steve Finley in center, Bernard Gilkey in right. Behind the plate, you had Kelly Stinnett. You had Matt Williams at third, this guy at short, Edwin Diaz at second, Travis Lee at first, and Randy Johnson on the mound, who was the shortstop.
When did the Mets closer become the Arizona Diamondbacks
Yeah.
second baseman in '99?
Yeah, I mean, apparently he's resurrected his career 25 years later as a closer.
It's oh god, '99. It's not Tony Womack.
No, too soon for Womack.
Yeah.
And
Alan
keep in mind
Trammell.
that no, keep in mind that was their second season. 98 was their first season.
I got nothing.
We got it in chat.
Tony Batista.
That is absolutely Tony Batista.
No way. Shortstop, huh?
Oh yeah,
I
he was
just
still playing short at that point.
I completely forgot he was on the Diamondbacks. I only picture him doing that funky stuff in Baltimore Orioles because that's where I saw him.
Or the Blue Jays, because he spent a lot
Or
of
the
time
Blue
there
Jays,
too.
right? That's right.
Yeah, because he spent a year and a half in Arizona and then got traded to Toronto, was there for a few years, then Baltimore.
Yeah. So Sillick's
Yeah,
got that one first by a hair, but nice job, fellas. Batista.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah. Cap'n got it too.
Batista, that weird
Nice job.
stance.
It was so like literally here and then like here. And I was just like, what?
I don't know. I mean, and it's a stance
on?
that like playing wiffle ball, I always tried to emulate because it was crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was the best. Yeah, his hands like right in front, and then he'd like bend over. Like I had so much movement. Crazy.
So weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, as long as you get into a hitting position, it works. But I still don't know how the hell you get to a hitting position and not lose the ball with all that movement.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow.
Yes, Tommy, we are watching the ALCS right now for sure. Yep. For sure.
Yeah, it is on. But anyways, all right. Last one for you, Nick. To wrap up the West. Who's missing from the 2012 San Francisco Giants opening day lineup? Around the outfield, you had Aubrey Huff, Angel Pagan, and this guy in right. You had Buster Posey behind the plate, Pablo Sandoval at third, Brandon Crawford at short, Ryan Theriot at second, Brandon Belt at first, and Tim Lincecum on the mound. Who was the right fielder? Cap and his stance makes my hips hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think I can move like that anymore. And Blake, we've said this on the show a million times. Buster Posey was out of baseball way too soon. He was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Who is
Oh, that's cool, Cap. And you went to spring down in 99 to see Arizona? Followed them for a minute.
2012.
If you'd followed them for 2 minutes, they became really good in 01. Hunter Pence, great guest, Tommy, not Hunter.
Yeah. John Dowd.
not Jamie Moyer, John.
Not John Dowd either.
Yeah, no, not John Dowd.
Man. Just trying to think of 5-letter first names. George is 6 letters. Way to count, Nick. Mitch Haniger.
No.
That's way too early for Mitch Haniger.
Yeah. Blake, there's not many catchers that you could watch that are better than Posey.
Oh, Posey, yeah. Man. Ender Inciarte.
Good one. No, not David Justice. I mean, we've had David Justice pops up
Yeah,
in a lot of places too.
man. 2012.
John Sterling used to love this guy.
So he was a Yankee.
He was a Yankee. He was really good in San Fran too for a stretch. John Dowd, greatest player in MVP baseball 2005. I used to love MVP baseball. That game was so good.
Blanco's a good guess. I don't think
Blanco's
it's
a good
him.
guess.
Doesn't quite fit.
Former Yankee. John Sterling used to love to yell his name at the top of his lungs.
Which name doesn't he yell at the top of his lungs?
Carl's got it.
Totally
There it is.
Milky.
It is absolutely
Nice.
the Milkman.
That's right.
It's
nice
the Milkman.
I love how
John Sterling.
Yeah. Man, Carl, nice one. Yeah, Melky Cabrera.
Melky Cabrera. He had a stretch for them where he was so good.
Yeah.
Playoffs too.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy.
But yeah, so that wraps up the West. So next cycle we'll come back to the East and start over again.
Great. Love it. Can't wait. Although I did better than I usually do, which still wasn't great, but I did better. But all right.
Good.
Before we open it up to y'all, I wanted to put this in here because I want to send you guys a personal thank you to the followers who actually take time to read and comprehend the posts on our page. So I've been doing favorite lineup. So I released like our favorite Red Sox lineup. So not necessarily the best, but our favorites. And I wanted to spark who everybody else like valued for them, like who were their favorites. So like there's no right or wrong answer. And apparently I'm still wrong with my favorites. So I'm like, favorites mean just that, our favorites. But I'm wrong on those too. John, I saw you in there defending us. And I mean, and that's what I mean. Like, I appreciate it. It's just like, I literally in big bold letters at the top say, favorite, not necessarily the best.
The Babe Ruth one will never not be funny.
Yeah, but I'm
like, funny. So
not necessarily the best, and people.
I went on that post, Nick, and I commented like, "Here I was thinking baseball fans could read and comprehend," and John Carter like immediately responded. He was like, "Well, some of us can."
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, no."
But I just, man, oh man, like blows me away. Or they're like, how can you? Yeah, right, exactly. Like, how can you not put Dewey Evans on there? Guys, I didn't watch him play. Like, he's not my favorite. Like, is he on the all-time list? Like, yeah, of course.
This one's my favorite, John.
Yeah, no Williams, no Yaz, no list. Doesn't count.
Yeah, that was my favorite. We're like, okay, thanks.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh,
and then before we came on, when I told Harrison I was doing this one, I put it's the Yankees' turn tonight. So check that one out because I'm really gonna have some people mad at me because I put Don Mattingly at third base. So you're welcome.
But he did technically play third base. So
yeah, exactly. But
we could always put Craig Nettles back there, not Greg, but put Craig there.
Oh yeah, I'll get over to your Mariners too, John, and then you can tear me apart for all you want, but that's fine. But my whole goal of the favorites was for people to fill out their own favorites because like I'm going across all 30 teams. And like I have certain guys that stick in my head on every team and I'm going to put them in the lineup. And people are just they are losing their minds. They can't wrap their mind around it. So I had one guy, I'll have to share this one quick one before we move on, about the Orioles one I put out last night. And he goes, it's got to be Cal. It's kind of blasphemous if it's not. And I go, well, I almost put Mike Bordick because I have a Maine connection with him and not a lot of big leaguers come out of the state of Maine. And he actually got it and replied with, personal connections are greater than legendary status. And I was like, thank
Amen.
you. thank you. Like somebody that it finally clicked. Like it just didn't like. I was like, that's what I've been going for, and it's still mind blowing to me that people can't read A and then comprehend B. The other one going around too is the Willie Stargell trivia question that people are losing their mind over. I was like, who was the last MVP to win with I specifically put 119 hits, and they're like, oh well, people have MVPs with less hits than that. Right. That wasn't the question I asked, though. Like I literally put the hit total in the question. Yeah, but Kershaw only had 5 hits. Okay. The answer was Willie Stargell. I was looking for Willie Stargell. So just crazy. All right. I'll put him in at shortstop and not my Jeff Blauser. So I won't forget. But
no rabbit, no list.
yeah. But on a serious note, guys, we are almost at 20,000 followers on Facebook. And it's followers like you guys that keep coming back show after show and make us love what we do. And I'm so glad that you guys add to our show every single week. It makes it so much fun for us. It still doesn't feel like work. But the way you guys interact with us and defend us is absolutely incredible. And we couldn't thank you enough. So on a serious note, like we really want to say thank you, because hopefully by Thursday we're going to hit the 20K milestone, and that's pretty remarkable for two guys that didn't think we were going to do this for more than a year, and here we are 4 years later. So
the guys that launched a podcast right into the face of a lockout.
yeah. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. So just wanted to say thank you for sure. But
that's wicked cool. Silex, you actually. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Lemke and Maddox.
Okay. You've had dinner amazing with them both? That is so cool. That's pretty awesome. And that's another reason we do this show is people have so many cool baseball moments and stories. Like we hear something new every show. That's incredible. I love that. Blake, we go every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And that will continue during the off season too. And we got a lot of off season stuff that we're planning. So like we're going to have some Family Feud. We're going to have some Jeopardy. We're going to have some pretty cool stuff, but yeah.
Oh God,
man. But all right. Well, that's all I had. Do you guys want to bring anything up before we head out for the evening? This is your turn to bring anything up news-wise. We bring up the chat here so YouTube people can see Facebook, and Facebook people can see the YouTube comments. So whatever you guys want, throw it out there. So. Oh, that's cool. Your great uncle was a major league scout for 46 years, so got to meet a lot of players. So been to many.
He's seen some stuff.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
That is amazing.
Man. Yeah, 8-pitch inning, 8th for Brash. Let Mariners look good. Let's go. They got to finish it off here for sure.
Yeah, this game script plays right in the Mariners' hands. Low scoring, they can get to the bullpen. This is exactly how the Mariners need this whole series to go.
Good question here, Captain. I know you opened the show with this question as we were trying to do our introduction, but I mean, this is a legit question. Mariners no challenge with a play at the plate in the first. Did you see that, Harrison?
I did not see the play.
So Raleigh's coming in on a ground ball in the infield. There's a play at the plate. Looks like he slides in, and from full speed, he looks like he's clearly out. And then you slow it down. It looks like he gets his foot in there and heel down on the plate before he gets tagged in the chest. But the Mariners decided not to challenge it. I think he was safe too. But like I said, at full speed, it looks like he's hosed. It was just one of those plays that you're just like, oh, he kind of blocked the plate, which I thought could have been, worthy of a challenge in itself. But Kirk already had the ball and then he stepped and blocked. So whatever. I don't even know what that rule is. If you can challenge it anymore, I don't really know.
Who knows?
No one knows, but it could have been overturned. Oh, and this is what I mean, Carl. Like when I saw it live, he
Yeah.
looked out by a mile, and then in slow motion, you're like, man, I think he got his heel in there. And Kirk blocking the plate, like literally what I just said. I agree with you 1,000%, Carl. So I think that call could have been overturned, but they decided not to challenge it. It was in the first inning, so I think that might have been why he wanted to hang on to it in case he needed some late in the game. I don't know, but I thought he was safe. You'll see the play eventually, Harrison. It was.
Yes, I was between things, so I know that they had a fielder's choice. They threw him out at the plate. I just never saw the play.
Yeah, full speed looks absolutely hosed, and then you look at the play again, you're like, oh, like he definitely got his heel in there. So crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, high tag. It's likely he had a chance.
Yeah,
I agree.
and high tags are almost always a problem.
The thing is right. You do get two. I mean, that's a fair point, Captain. But was it conclusive enough for them to turn? Remember, you got to go by the call on the field. The call on the field was out. Was it conclusive enough to overturn it? I'm not sure. We'll see.
But at the same time, from Captain's perspective, you've got two of them. Worst case scenario, you go the rest of the game with one of them. It's not like they're all gone, and that and to me, it's run scoring plays are what those are meant for. It's not like the bang bang play at first. It's the run scoring kind of game changing type play. So in my mind, that's one you probably should challenge. But
yeah,
I don't know why Dan Wilson chose not to.
Yeah. We'll get to your question in a second, Blake. This is a good question from Tommy. Outside of the 4 fan bases remaining in the Major League Baseball postseason, how many people do you think will be watching the ALCS, NLCS, and World Series from a national standpoint?
I think the championship series will be watched by a lot. I mean, I think you've got the Blue Jays. You're going to have a lot of Canada tuning in. Not even necessarily in Toronto, but you're going to have kind of that whole fan base. We had Newfoundland in the chat. You're a good ways away.
Yeah.
I think you'll have a lot of people watching the Blue Jays from across Canada. The Dodgers are going to attract a huge Japanese audience, as well as their local market. And I mean, I would imagine the entire country of Japan is watching them play. There's also a ton of bandwagon Dodgers fans out there that like them because they're good. I think the Brewers don't really draw any eyes outside of their own market. And the Mariners don't really draw any eyes outside of their own market.
Yeah, not like they used to with Ichiro, right? They had the Japan market with Ichiro.
Yeah, you had Griffey, then you had Ichiro. Like you always had somebody that made people tune in. I do think Cal Raleigh is a draw to a certain extent, but if you end up with a Mariners Brewers World Series, it won't be good ratings wise.
No, I think the potentially the biggest viewership matchup would be Blue Jays Dodgers, just because of what you said. You got the entire country of Canada and the other teams in the AL East fan bases other than the Yankees pulling for the Blue Jays. And then you have the Dodgers, which has the entire country of Japan, the whole LA area, and nobody else. But that's still a big chunk of change.
And then every bandwagon fan out there.
Well, right. And then I think the lowest rated you could get, I think you're right. Unfortunately, I think it's Seattle and Milwaukee. As baseball fans, I totally want Seattle and Milwaukee because I want them fighting for their first World Series championship. But yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So, and then who do we have winning the World Series this year? Blake, unfortunately, I think it has to be the Dodgers until somebody can prove to me that they can get them out of the postseason. I hate that I'm saying that, but goodness.
I mean, I would love to see a Seattle Milwaukee World Series, and one of those. I don't care who wins it at that point. One of those teams walks away with their first ever. But I feel like right now the odds-on favorite is the Dodgers. They are the favorite at the moment.
Yeah,
They've got all the pieces, they got the experience, and they're playing well right now. I mean, they didn't have a great series against Philadelphia, but they did all the things they had to do.
Yeah. Favorite players. Harrison's is Nomar. Mine's Jason Varitek. Kind of Red Sox homers there. Chad says, I think
every show.
Yeah, it's so sick. Chad says, I think baseball gets more national attention in the playoffs. A lot of fans are interested in watching out of market teams and get to see them when they don't get to watch them in the playoffs. I think that's a fair point. I think there's something to that is, out of market, fans that get to see teams maybe they don't necessarily get to see. We're spoiled with MLB TV, but a lot of quote unquote casual fans don't get to see them until they are on national TV. So that's a fair point, Chad.
Well, and I think to go one step further, Chad, I think a lot of fans don't tune in until the postseason.
Yeah.
I think you get a lot of fans that jump on that tune in now because their team's in it, like, oh wow, I should be paying attention now. And two, you get a lot of bandwagon fans that jump on to a team that's hot or exciting.
Yeah.
Nick, no, your favorite is Babe Ruth. It's always Babe Ruth. Should always be Babe Ruth. Never anybody but Babe Ruth.
He's just racking up his show suspension numbers. He's at like 6 now at this point. It was 4 the other night. He's at 6. So you can write me a letter of appeal if you want, Yeated Hanky. But besides it being only one game, why do you think the NFL playoffs gets more views than MLB playoffs? Well, I think it's as simple as this. NFL is brutal. People like brutality, right? I mean, football's a rough game, and NFL is king. And it always will be, because it is the closest to grown men trying to rip each other's head off as it will get, other than MMA, of course. But I think that's what it is. An organized sport, that's the most brutal sport we got, right? I think that's why. And people like to see that for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I think the other piece of that too is that the NFL gets so much attention because of gambling. I know so many people that watch the NFL strictly because they play DraftKings and all the daily fantasy stuff, and they got fantasy leagues, daily fantasy leagues. Like, gambling is such a massive part of the NFL kind of football fan culture that I think that's a big reason why the NFL is so popular. Is it's such an easy game to bet on.
Yeah. Oh, John Temple, without a doubt, the entire podcast as a whole is Jamie Moyer, and it's not even close.
Yeah. Jamie Moyer is our spirit animal.
Yeah, for sure. I think we should change our podcast emblem to Jamie Moyer with the rounding third emblem in the back. Just saying.
We should, the silhouette should be Jamie Moyer for sure.
Yeah. I'm on it.
I will say we did a playoff style bracket of best player ever. We came to Ted Williams.
So yep, we did.
Ted gets a lot of love on the show.
All right. Thanks, Blake. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's a blast having you on. And this is a thing that we have talked about numerous times, Carl, is MLB and their marketing of players, their marketing of the teams. They just don't do it. Like, how many major leaguers do you see on commercials? Not nationally, you don't.
Only
Locally,
a few.
Yeah, I think locally you see guys on commercials, and maybe that's that's because those local channels own the rights to the team. Like, maybe that's why we don't see national commercials. I mean, Shohei's really the only one I see nationally now, right? And that's the New Balance commercial.
Yeah, so Shohei's the big one. I've seen Judge has done some smaller campaigns, and even Trout has done a couple of smaller campaigns in the last year. But really, it's Shohei's the big draw, and that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, Fernando Tatis is in the new era commercial, but I don't know if that gets blasted nationally or literally just on MLB TV.
I think it's just on MLB Network and MLB TV.
Yeah. So I think locally they do, because I mean, you remember PD and Ortiz doing all the Sullivan Tire,
Yeah, every car dealership that sponsored got a spot from somebody.
Yeah.
Sullivan Tire got them.
Yeah.
There was a bank at one point they were doing stuff with. I can't remember which one it was.
Oh yeah. And then the Mariners with all their commercials. I mean, they probably have the best team commercials out there running.
They do. They've got good ones.
So I mean, we see stuff like that, but just on a national level, I mean, Patrick Mahomes freaking everywhere. Travis Kelce everywhere. That's also because of his podcast too. I get it, but
and because of his future wife,
right? Whoever that is,
some
but
singer, I think. I'm not sure if she's any good.
yeah, but yeah, nationally, I don't think it, and this is it, Silix too. Like, Harper, a couple small ones here on the East Coast, but I don't know if it's nationwide. Yeah, they tend
never
to
seen
stay
them.
to their local TV markets, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got local deals because 9 times out of 10 they're running ads through the team for sponsors, and that's part of the sponsorship deals. Like, hey, if you sponsor at this threshold, you get a TV spot from Bryce Harper. It's like, whoa, cool.
Right. Well, and for me, being in Raleigh, North Carolina, where it is legit a black hole of baseball, like I don't get the Braves, I don't get the Orioles or the Nationals. We get zero baseball commercials. Like nothing is here. Nothing reaches us, even from Atlanta or those other two. So like there's no baseball marketing in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I don't see any of that stuff. The only reason I see it is because it's on MLB TV. So, yeah. Yeah, Blue Jays fans are legit crying. The heck? That's
What?
crazy. Like they panned to a couple fans in the stands because they got 2 outs in the 9th, down by 2, and the guy was legit bawling his eyes out. It's like it's game 1, guys. It's okay.
Yeah. That's game. Kirk flies out.
Well, Mariners up 1-0. All righty. Love it.
Yeah, Carl, it's funny. Regional sports networks are both good and bad for baseball. They're the only way to deliver that many games to your local markets. But at the same time, because of that, you've limited baseball's national exposure in such a big way because still, like, short of the MLB TV subscription, if you're if you're Nick and I on the East Coast, like there's no way to watch any of those West Coast games or any other teams. Like you got your local team and that's it. You can't see anything else.
Yeah. Yep. Winner, chicken dinner. M's up 1-0. Love it. Yeah, and I mean, we talk about the blackout thing. I don't want to really get into it anymore, but I mean, it's just crazy, and I think that's something that does need to be fixed. It sounds like that is an issue that they are addressing. It's going to take a while. I know it is.
It's not an overnight fix.
No, but they are trying to get rid of that stuff. Slowly but surely, they're getting there. But that's because everything's better on this side of the Mississippi, Captain. Just saying. Although Harrison's like a minute and a half ahead of me. I don't know how that's even happened. You told me Kirk flew out and he had just check swung on the second pitch.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So, yeah. Crazy. But, yeah. Captain, I need a score update.
I mean, you think about it, Springer hits a home run to lead off the bottom of the first, and that was it. Toronto only managed one hit the rest of the game.
That was the first pitch? First pitch the Blue Jays saw, he hit over the right field fence.
Yeah, Santander had the other hit later, and that was it. 2 hits.
Watch it. Sorry, Gavin.
Carl's 45 seconds behind me.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I can only see the D-backs and Mariners because of blackouts. Yeah, you ain't kidding. But I mean,
Nick's been forced to become a West Coast baseball fan because he can't watch anything on the East.
It's crazy, man. It really is nuts. Yeah, the one that got me last year that had me calling MLB TV is like, why am I blacked out of Cincinnati? They're 8.5 hours away, for crying out loud. Like, come on now. That one was ridiculous. But
yeah, John Temple, "Big Balls" by AC/DC is one of the most underrated songs of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
And yes, Dan Wilson can absolutely throw them in a wheelbarrow tonight and walk out of that stadium.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, as
Yeah.
critical as we've been of Dan Wilson, I mean, so far it's all worked. There's been a couple. He's made it harder on himself in a couple situations, but everything's worked.
Yep. But I mean, that's baseball, man. He can do the same thing tomorrow night and get absolutely shellacked,
Fair.
right? Like he could roll out, like say game one was played again, right? We hit the rewind button. He does all the same things. Final score could be 10-1 Blue Jays. Like you, it's just that's baseball. Some it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah. Oh, nice. So you're on local TV in Virginia. Okay. But yeah,
Nice.
so you probably get the Orioles and Nationals in your market where
You're
being
probably
in
just
Raleigh,
far
North,
enough away.
yeah, but me and Raleigh, it's blacked out. Like because Masson doesn't reach, and then whatever the Braves are now doesn't reach Raleigh. Like we're literally in a blackout stage of MLB. Doesn't reach our local networks, which tells me we shouldn't be blacked out of any market at that point. I don't get that, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I heard Moyer starting on 4,578 days rest.
I mean, he might be a better option than a bullpen game.
Yep. So
Did you see that Bellinger has opted out or is opting out in the process of it?
I mean, did he didn't quite get to 30, did he? He got to like 29, I think.
Was he at 28, 29?
I think he might have gotten to 29. Yeah, 29. He hit 272, had 98 RBIs. I mean,
Yeah.
interesting though. And he's how old? We are, I mean, 29.
Yeah, he turned 30 in July. So
Yeah.
So he has apparently he has notified the Yankees that he's opting out.
Interesting.
Now, he may be opting out to try to negotiate a new deal with them because he wants to stay. There's some belief that he wants to stay in New York, but he's at least given his himself some options.
Are there many options out there? I mean,
for a guy who can play literally seems like everywhere, probably.
yeah.
I mean he was he had a 5-WAR season. He played 4 different positions. He played all the outfield and first base.
I mean, I think he's a nice piece for somebody,
Yes.
but I think he's got to be the right fit in the right ballpark for the right team. And maybe it is to just renegotiate with the Yankees. I don't know, but definitely betting on himself. I would agree, Carl. So,
Yep. Yeah, I think he's, and Silex is saying that sounds like a lot of these guys might opt out, and there's a lot of different thinking within baseball. We looked at this about a month ago, and Jeff Passan published an article after talking to some of the execs about what they thought might happen, and there's a belief that it was going to be kind of 50-50, that some guys were going to go, some guys were going to stay. It was really dependent upon what they thought they could get on the market, because a guy like Trevor Story, who's coming off a great year, is coming off of 3 crappy years before that. So the question becomes, can you really get more than you're already guaranteed? I don't know. I think some of these guys are in positions of strength, like Alonso, Bellinger to a certain extent. Bregman's coming off a season where he missed like a third of it. He's not necessarily in a position of strength, but he showed that he's still a great baseball player.
if you are a player with an opt-out and you are looking at these last 2 off seasons and the money thrown around with the pending lockout coming, I think I would probably opt out too if I'm one of the top free agents in the league.
Oh yeah, if I'm Alex Bregman and there's only a couple of other third basemen out there and I'm better than all of them, then yeah, I'm gonna opt out and go chase the better offer. If I'm Cody Bellinger and I'm going to be in a sea of a bunch of guys that are just like me, I don't know that I'm going to opt out. Bellinger's not a guy that you look at and go, man, like he's a difference maker. He's a good player.
Yeah. Jason, Cubs fan, so they got knocked out. What do you feel the Cubs need to get over this hump now? Are there certain people? I mean, we talked about it earlier. Justin Steele is a huge one. Get him back, get him healthy. But are there other holes that you think the Cubs need to fill to get them over the hump? Michael Busch might be one of my new favorite players. That dude's an animal. He had himself a month and a half. It was crazy.
Dude hit 3 postseason home runs and has 3 RBIs.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
The Cubs couldn't get on base.
No. Prediction: Rob Thompson will be fired from the Phillies.
I think a lot of Phillies fans want to see a lot of changes made after this exit.
Okay, let's go division by division.
Yeah, real quick, Captain. Okay. It's a good point. I think it's also going to depend on some of these players whether or not they like where they're at. I think Pete Alonso, was frustrated that he had to settle for a lesser deal, and the team sucked wind down the stretch. So I think he's open to other opportunities. I think Trevor Story is in a good situation. Maybe he chooses to stay. I don't know. A lot of guys have some decisions to make.
Yeah, bullpen, Jason. Listen, get in line for that one. Red Sox need it. Yankees got it. All right, let's go real quick. Each division, you tell me who's getting fired for managers. AL East, anybody fired?
AL East, no. I think they're all safe.
I'm with you. AL Central, we already lost Baldelli. Anybody else?
No, I think they're all fine. I think they're all safe.
AL West.
We already saw Bochy go.
Yeah. And we don't know looks like Pujols might take the seat in.
Yeah, I think the changes that are coming out of the West have already been made.
Okay, fair. NL East.
Braves have already made their change. Nationals are still trying to figure out who the hell they're going to be. I mean, I don't think the Mets are going to move on from Mendoza, but I think they need to take a long, hard look at what they're doing. I know they dumped a bunch of coaches, but that doesn't really solve the problem that team had. No. I think Mendoza's safe, but I think he's on thin ice with them.
Do you think Thompson goes? Now, I think he could, because I think the Phillies are about to blow this thing up. Because what they're doing clearly isn't working to get them where they want to go. Spending a lot of money for getting a first round bye and exiting right away.
I think Dombrowski's getting impatient.
Yes, agree. So I'm with Tommy. I think Thompson could go.
I think he's the most likely guy to get fired next.
Yeah. NL Central.
NL Central.
Dude, you have to get up in 6 years? That's a long slumber. Yeah, you meant 6 hours. That's all good, Jace. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. That's awesome. NL Central.
NL Central. I mean, I don't think anything else changes there. Yeah, I don't think anything else changes there. I mean, the Pirates doesn't matter. I mean, they've got to figure out what the hell they're doing there.
Right, because they already fired Shelton, right? And
they already fired Shelton, and now they're in an interim that who knows what's going to happen there. So I think the changes there have already been made.
All right. NL West, we already got Melvin out.
Yeah, I still don't think Schilt is safe in San Diego. I think they've got some serious soul searching to do there, and I don't know that he survives it.
We got Warren Schaefer that took over for the Rockies. Do we think he stays?
Doesn't matter.
I mean,
can you really blame the manager for what happened there, given the lineup and roster that you had?
No. I mean that's fair.
I don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, Colorado needs a full reset. You need to look at that major league roster, get serious about who actually belongs there, go hard into player development, and scour the minor leagues for trade targets, or look for those guys that don't get a contract that might have some life left in them. They're gonna have to get real creative and patchwork this thing for a while.
Yeah, it comes down to, like you said, the foundation. I think you need to start scouting guys and winning in the MLB draft.
Yep.
You have to do that in order to even start getting this organization on the right track, I think it's possible. That organization has guys that can evaluate talent. They wouldn't be in major league positions if they couldn't, right?
Yeah.
They just got to start hitting on those picks. And maybe they are. Some of these young kids they got coming up are pretty stinking good.
They are.
So,
They've got. I mean, they don't lack talent. They just lack talent that's ready.
they also need to change their baseballs to cement balls just so they don't travel 5,000 feet.
Dome that thing and turn it into a big humidor.
Yeah, and shrink there's just too much green for pitchers to have success out there because Ubaldo Jimenez is not walking through that door.
No, and even he couldn't do it twice.
No, and I mean, you've had, I wouldn't say great pitchers, but you have had good, serviceable major league pitchers that are really good on the road, and then they get home, and there's just too much green. Like the outfielders just can't get to all the balls out there.
Yeah,
you can't. So then it makes the pitchers look worse than they really are. I mean, German Marquez, like if he's not hurt, that dude can deal. That dude can shove. He just can't prevent. Like, how many bloop hits do you see in a Rockies game? If you ever watch it, there's a ton because the outfielders are so deep because the alleys are so big that those bloopers fall.
Talk about the perfect ballpark to roll out a Milwaukee Brewers strategy.
Whoa,
Just put the ball in play.
Yes.
You would absolutely just wear teams out.
Wear them out. And that's the only way that you are going to be able to compete in the NL West is completely flip the script in my eyes.
Yep.
Is find guys that are contact guys, high speed guys, occasional pops, fine. But just put the bat on the ball and get your butt to first base as fast as possible.
Yeah, just go find a bunch of Luis Arises.
Yeah. Even that, like just hit and run, bunt and run and hit, like all that stuff. Like make things happen. You have nothing to lose if you're the Colorado Rockies. Do it.
Nope.
But
yeah, and you can build a team like that cheap. You don't have to go crazy. Just find guys that can run and make contact and just let it play.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, you hit it, Hanky. Dodgers win the World Series just to keep the Will Smith streak alive.
What would that be? 5 straight years? 6 straight years?
Wasn't it 5 last year? I think we're moving on to 6.
Well, yeah, because Will Smith in 2020 was the first one?
Oh, you might be right. I thought 19 was the first one. I think 20 might have been the first one.
It could have been 19. No, because the Nationals won. It was Nationals Astros.
Yeah, so no, it was 20.
It was 2020 Dodgers Will Smith, 2021, 2022, 2023 reliever Will Smith, 2024 catcher Will Smith. So math is hard.
That's 5 World Series.
Yeah, this would be the 6th.
Yeah, so it would be 6. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Does Kyle Schwarber re-sign with Philadelphia? A month ago, my answer to that would have been absolutely he does. My answer to it now is I don't know that he does. I don't think that he is the solution to their problem. And I don't think they want to tie up $30+ million on a DH when they've got other holes to fill. I do, however, think that Philly is going to go hard after Adley Rutschman to take over the catcher position. And that will be their big offseason splash.
Yep. Yeah, need to clone 12 Nico Horners and get them to Colorado. Agree. Yep. I'll take the manager job for the Rockies and sign you two as my hitting and pitching coaches. You don't want that. They'll be worse than they are now. Schwarber to the Cubs.
Fair.
Schwarber to the Cubs.
Go back around to the Cubs. I mean,
I don't hate that take.
Schwarber to me is a tough guy. For all the good he does, there's still things that just make you go, "Ugh, do I really want that in my lineup?"
He's a weird player. He is such a weird player to assess.
It's so hard to determine if how much value he brings because he does so many things well and so many things terribly. He can't play defense. You can't put him in the field. He strikes out too much, but he walks a ton and hits bombs. I don't know what to do with him. Like he's such a limited player, but he does one thing very well.
Yeah.
guess two things really well. He gets on base and he hits home runs. He doesn't do anything other than that.
Yeah.
And I think there's an interesting point back here before. Philly already said they aren't going to pay Suarez big money to make room for Andrew Painter, which Andrew Painter has been like on the cusp of the major leagues for what feels like forever. It's probably only been 2 seasons, but that kid is talented.
Yeah. Which is crazy
Silex,
because
he'll be the best number 5 in MLB from the jump, and I'm not even. And I'm a Braves fan.
Yeah. I mean, I think Suarez could get a hefty deal somewhere. Someone's going to pay that lefty to join their rotation for sure.
And he's nails in the playoffs.
Yeah. And that, yeah, absolutely. Probably the freaking Yankees.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I just think that's such a tough one. Schwarber's a tough player. He's a tough player to figure out what to do with him.
Yeah. So we will have a free agent show like after the awards week and all of that stuff. Like Harrison and I compile a Excel sheet and we put our picks in and we kind of go over them live on the show. So you guys can tell us what you think. But we've played a game the last couple of years. I think I won the first year by 1 and then you won last year by 1.
But
and
in total, combined, I think we got more than half the free agents right.
Yes, we did, which was pretty cool. And we've gotten, I think I want to say it was close over the 2-year span. We've gotten like 65 to 70% of them correct between the two of us, which was pretty cool. I mean, there's a couple where we're like, I did not see that. Like Corbin Burns to the Diamondbacks, like we weren't even close on that one, like not even remotely.
Yeah, there's been some pretty big whiffs.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a whiff on everybody. There was nothing said about that one. But that's going to happen. But yeah. Does anyone have a shortstop or left fielder for my Braves, please?
The Yankees have a shortstop that might want to trade you.
Yeah, you can have Volpe. I'm sure Yankees fans and the front office.
Are the Braves going to keep Hae-Sung Kim, or is he? I thought he had an option, right?
Wait, isn't he on the Braves?
Oh, that's right. Who was in there at the end of the season? No, he didn't. He end up there at the end of the season.
He could have if the Rays released him.
I can't spell his freaking name wrong.
Oh yeah. You're right. The Rays dropped him. Atlanta picked him up. That's right. I forgot all about that.
He was there for September. I thought he was going to stick around for a little while. He's got a 26. He's got a player option, so he may choose not to stay. Yeah. Although if I'm him, I'm probably staying because after the season he just had, nobody's going to pay him.
Yeah. Thanks, Tommy. That's Green Monster Green is the actual name of the paint. So it was pretty cool. I tried to convince my wife to do the other wall red, but she's like, no. And I was like, okay.
Yes. Dear.
Yeah. Bo Bichette is going to be a big free agent too.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got to sit down and rack my brain where I think he's going to go, but I think it depends on how Toronto does. If Toronto does all right and they have these young kids coming up and performing well, could see Bo actually staying, but I don't know. It's a lot of money they just paid Vlad to stay. Blue Jays might not have the budget. I don't know.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting offseason because you across the league and there's just like not a lot of big names out there. There's a few, but then you got players out there like Luis Ariz. It's like, what do you do with Ariz?
He's the same thing as Schwarber. He's like one-dimensional.
Right. Like you got a lot of these weird ones.
Yeah. Ariz to me is I don't think it's a great use of money. Now, I love that he's a contact guy, right? But he's too much of a contact guy to a fault because he doesn't walk. He swings at everything.
Yeah, everything.
But that's it. So he doesn't walk. He doesn't get on base. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Yeah, and you got guys like Bregman, if he opts out, obviously changes things. Max Muncy's 35. What becomes of him?
Mm.
Gurriel's got an opt out, which he probably won't use. But Jesse Winker, another one of those guys who's just kind of filling holes.
And he has been the last 4 or 5 years. He hasn't been really anything since he left.
No, Trent Grisham coming off of a fluky career year. Luis Robert Jr., who does anybody remember him?
Yeah. Braves putting Albies on the trade block. I didn't hear that. So, yeah, we'll take anything to get away from the contract. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Albies is a free agent, isn't he? He's got a club option. Did they exercise it?
Well, I mean, we said Max Muncy's only 35. He's been 35 years for 84 years now. Yeah, for me, like we said it as when a couple of years ago when the Braves were signing all these extensions, right? Riley got one and Albies got one, and all these young kids were getting extensions. We're like, this is either going to be an absolutely genius move or it's going to backfire. And at this point, it's absolutely backfired because they can't keep him on the field.
Yeah, so Ozzie Albies, his contract is up. He has 2 club options built into it that the Braves can choose to exercise, and they're at $7 million per season. The belief is the Braves are going to exercise it because there's probably not a better option out there at that price. But maybe they cut him loose, or maybe they exercise it and try to trade him. I don't know. I mean, Albies when he's healthy is fantastic, but the issue is health.
I don't think the Mariners are going to be able to sign Gino. I could see him going to Boston if Bregman walks. Well, you know what? We'll just bring in Gino and move Bregman to first base. I'm sure he'll be happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Bregman's going to be an interesting one because he could have a big impact on where guys go.
See, I'm torn on him because I know he wants the longer years, right? But no one is going to pay him $40 million a year like he's going to get if he stays in Boston the next 2 years.
No.
So,
no, but he can get an $80 million guarantee or a $200 million guarantee. I think he's leaning towards taking the longer.
I get it. I totally get it. Gino's going back to Arizona. He already said that. He told Arizona he didn't want to go at the deadline.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they have an under the table kind of wink, wink. Hey, go to Seattle, do what they need you to do. We'll get you back in the offseason. That could be a thing because he loved it in Arizona. So I'm kind of with you there. That will be my pick for sure. I think Gino goes back there.
Yeah. So the deal with Ozzie Albies, he has 2 $7 million club options. The club option so if they decline the option, they actually owe him a $4 million buyout. So you might as well exercise the option, guarantee the $7 million, and then try to move him versus paying $4 million to let him walk.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and Alex, I think that Alex Anthopoulos is, if not the best, one of the best GMs in all of baseball. I'm sure he's got this figured out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean the rumors with the Red Sox it was Murphy, even Acuna was kind of brought up there a while. It was like Murphy and Acuna to the Red Sox for Duran, a couple others too, Abreu, and rumors were flying everywhere. But Murphy was all parts of the. Ozuna was in there too at one point.
So. Yeah, Sean Murphy was a bad contract, and they signed him because they thought he was going to be the guy, and then Baldwin just tore apart the minor leagues, and Murphy got hurt. Yeah, and now you've got a really expensive backup catcher.
Yeah, Baldwin, and don't they have another one in there too? He's got like a funky
Chadwick last name. Trump.
Chadwick Trump. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I can't get into this question again, Tommy. I think you missed it with Yankees, unless you're just trying to be funny. I can't remember, but I had a guy.
The short answer is yes.
Off. Yeah, I had a guy chew my head off on Thursday about wearing a different hat than the emblem that's behind me on the wall. So I just I don't have the mental capacity to deal with that again tonight. But yeah, the second favorite team that comes up every show. This is hilarious. Yeah, but
Yeah, Trump is one of those guys who I think they thought he was going to be the guy, and he got a lot of playing time. I want to say it was late last year and then into this year, and then Baldwin just kind of blew up.
yeah. Paget, yeah, right now we're just kind of free forming. We kind of went over what the playoffs looked like, but we're just yeah, no, yeah, so we just kind of talked about the playoffs, what we see is going to go on, our predictions and all that stuff. So haven't missed that much. We're just kind of free balling at this point.
And the playoffs are going on, so I think you're all caught up.
Yep. Yeah, not trying to be funny. I just missed it. Okay, yeah. No, we had a what is a Yankees fan on Thursday?
Yes, as Captain points out, yes, unless you're a Yankees fan. Yankees fans can't have other teams they like.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Tommy, it was a wild one, dude. The guy just absolutely roasted me. So it is what it is, but
Nick loves it. Nick loves when people roast him in the comments.
no, dude, you're fine. I have no issues with you, Tommy. You're good. No apologies needed for sure. But yeah,
it's ironic. This has become such a topic the last like 2 or 3 weeks. It's just like it's become such a thing.
Yeah, I mean, and we said like in a nutshell that we all have our first love, right? Red Sox fans for me and Harrison, you're the Phillies, and I follow the Diamondbacks. I'm probably going to be following the Rockies a ton next year because, hey, I want to. But yeah, I don't think it's like necessarily a second team, if you will, but you can be invested in a second team to see how they're doing. It's not going to be the same love that you have for your first one, right? Like it's always Red Sox for us, but like there's other teams that you can like because you like their style of play. You like the players on it. So, but yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, like I tell people all the time, I'm a Red Sox fan. Yes, but I'm a baseball fan more than anything. And if the Red Sox, I mean, I honestly watch more of other teams anymore than I do the Red Sox because I just follow the matchups and teams that I enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. Captain called it too. He goes, let me guess, you're a Yankees fan.
Like, yeah. Captain nailed it. It's called him a Yankees fan before he even admitted it.
Yeah. I also like the Lakers and the Cowboys too. So that was fun.
But, yeah, I was gonna say he's a Yankees fan, Cowboys fan, Lakers fan.
Yeah.
Oh God, probably a Detroit Red Wings fan too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just oh my God.
Yeah. I mean the Braves this year. I mean UCLs, ACLs, PCLs, like all the CLs that were just. Yeah. It was.
I'm pretty sure they made up CLs just for the Braves.
Yeah, it was bad. It was just bad.
I still love Nick the picture you did of the hospital sign with like Braves player parking over here. It was like they had their own spot.
Yeah, yeah. It was an emergency room, and it was like Braves players parking. It was so bad. God.
It was like Braves had their own,
and that was like early, man. It was like what mid-May, and it was just like.
It was like every series somebody went down.
Yeah, I think I said Braves reserved parking.
That's
or something like that. It's like, oh my God, so bad.
But I mean, the Braves finished the season with none of the starting pitchers they started the year with.
It's crazy.
I mean,
that's crazy.
It was unbelievable the amount of injuries they dealt with, and it was just everything just kept coming.
All right, second favorite team's the Padres. I like tuning into them just for Donnie O. I miss
Donnie O.
Yeah.
As a Red Sox fan, I really hope you appreciate him as much as we did because he was a gem.
Yeah. Phillies first, Orioles second. I think you said your dad was an Orioles fan. That's awesome. But
yeah. I don't really have like a predetermined second favorite team.
Oprah style for the Braves this year. You blow a joint. You blow a joint. Everyone blows a joint. Like you ain't kidding.
I think that's also true in the NBA. Everybody blows a joint. Different kind of joint though.
Different kind of joint. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Orioles is a good team to follow. I mean, they kind of took a step back this year, which was kind of disappointing.
It wasn't a step, Nick. They took
fair.
They ran a marathon in reverse.
Fair. They backpedaled quite a bit and then fell off into the deep end.
As Chris Byrne would say, way back.
Yeah, it was not good.
Back. God.
Yeah, tough one. But yeah.
Get out of here, Yated Hankey. My second favorite team was the St. Louis Browns.
When did you start following them? When you were 45? Probably.
Wow.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Shots fired.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's funny. We've got the geezer, but yet we're calling Michael the old guy.
Yeah. Well, I swear, if he answers Babe Ruth on one more thing,
his suspension will turn into a permanent ban.
Yeah. It's fine. Just keep engaging. It's fine. Just pushes it more. I love it. Bring it.
Just keep the comments coming.
Yeah. But all right.
So
you're 65. Nice.
Wait, you were age 65? You started following them in the year 65.
Yes.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah. Oh, Cardinals. I mean,
that math works.
It probably doesn't.
He'd be wicked old.
Yeah. Cardinals, Royals, Missouri, Homer. That's fine, man. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Growing up, my grandmother was a St. Louis Cardinals fan, and I'd watch them from time to time, but.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, if I had to go top 5 of teams that I watched the most of this year, honestly, the most of is not
Dodgers.
even my red. No, probably the teams I watched the most. I don't even think I'd put Red Sox 1. I think I watched, because by the time I got home from work,
the Red Sox might not be in my top 5 this year if you check my watch hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, because by the time I got home from work at like 8-ish, it was already starting to like push over to the West Coast games. I probably watched the Diamondbacks the most, the A's second, Mariners third, and then I'd probably go Red Sox. I don't know. Maybe it was really just those 4. And then I just kind of bounced around to like whatever the good matchup was. But those were the 4 teams I really focused on a lot this year.
Yeah.
Was Diamondbacks. I love watching that young A's team hit. I thought they were incredible. Yeah. They were a lot of fun to watch. Pitching wasn't quite that fun to watch, but yeah, for me it was Diamondbacks, A's, Mariners, and Red Sox. I'd say were the top 4 watched for me this year.
Yeah, and for me it was probably the Royals, the A's, the Red Sox. I did find myself watching quite a bit of the Reds there for quite a stretch.
Yep.
Probably the 4 that I watched the most of. I did for some reason I seem to catch a lot of Angels games. Usually because of who they were playing, but I caught a lot of Angels games.
I saw quite a bit of them too, for sure. But again, like I said, West Coast games were just easy because that's when I was like working on the show. I just had the games on in the background.
I'd have the big inning on until 11:30 when it went off the air, and I would just be chilling.
Yeah, loved it. Tuned into quite a bit of Marlins games just to kind of see what that was about because Kyle Stowers had that team rocking for a while.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the Marlins in the second half of the year.
Yeah, so
Michael. My third favorite was the Detroit Wolverines.
Yeah. No hyphen. I agree with this. She can be very tough to listen to. That's why if I'm watching the A's, I watch the other broadcast. I watch the visiting broadcast. So yeah. I mean, Dallas Braden can be a little obnoxious sometimes, but I don't mind him.
I was just going to say, the hard part is she's not very good, and Dallas Braden is annoying. And half the time, I'm not even sure he's watching the game. Like he'll just bring up stuff that like doesn't even pertain to what's happening. Yeah. Their broadcast is awful, like just awful.
Not great. Not great. Yeah,
Tommy. I think I'd rather watch an Apple TV Plus versus the A's broadcast.
I don't know if I go that far, but
Yeah,
it's pretty close.
it's terrible.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm originally from Maine. Harrison's originally from New Hampshire. I now live in North Carolina. My social security number is no, I'm just kidding.
My
Yeah,
mother's maiden name is.
yeah, my first dog's name, street I grew up on. Um, yeah, and Harrison's currently living in Maine, but yeah,
Yeah, I tried to follow Nick to Maine to get closer. He moved away.
yeah, hmm
He doesn't
sure.
love me.
Facts. I only spend more hours with you than I do anyone else, so that's fine.
And when we're not together, we're just texting stuff back and forth.
Facts. Um, oh, good question
Ooh,
here. I like this one.
I do like this one.
Nolan Arenado gets traded. Do you think the Cardinals will move Nolan Gorman to third base for the season? I mean, there was the threat of Nolan Arenado getting moved last offseason, and nobody really wanted him. I don't know if that was the asking price was too high, if teams really weren't interesting. I don't really know.
Yeah, I think the problem is I think Nolan Gorman's the easy solution. Your top prospect, JJ Weatherholt, can play third base. He's probably better slated to be middle infielder, and he's probably not. He probably makes the team in 2026. I just don't know that he's necessarily going to be
You're
your
not
everyday
gonna
third baseman.
you're not gonna take Mason Wynn off short though.
No, but you
Are
might
you?
slide him over to second. You might put him on to second.
You're gonna waste that cannon at second base? There's no way. There's no way you
I
put
mean,
Mason. There's no way you put Mason Wynn at second base.
no. You might put Weatherholt over there.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No. I mean, you've got Brendan Donovan, but I think Donovan's got position flexibility too. So I think Gorman is the easy answer to that, but you've got Weatherholt who's knocking on the door. And I think they've got to decide, where do these guys all fit? Because
Yeah.
again, the nice thing is Chaim Bloom is inheriting a system that's not a total mess. They do have some talent. They do have a big decision to make with Arenado. They need pitching. You may even use one of those guys to go get some pitching. I don't know what they're going to do, but they've got to figure it out.
They got a couple holes. You got to figure out what to do with Jordan Walker too. He did not have a great. This dude came up, and the worst thing he could have done in his major league career was start 13 for 13 and have like a 14 game hitting streak or whatever that was. Cardinals got some work to do, but they weren't as bad as they thought. But
no, and the Cardinals also have Blaze Jordan. I forgot they got him from the Red Sox for Mats. He is a third baseman.
Is he ready though?
I mean, is he ready? Probably not at a spring training, but maybe second half of the year.
Oh, now the questions are rolling in here. Do you think Ben Joyce will be opening day bullpen option? Because
is he gonna? When's he due back?
I don't know that dude. I don't know. It's surgery to repair his right shoulder. That was on April 11th.
It was a torn labrum.
Opening day, I'm gonna say no.
That's about a solid 12-month recovery. So I would say he's probably. I mean, best case, you probably get him back in the first half of the year, but probably not opening day.
Yeah. Do the Padres bring up Ethan Salas, or do you wait another year? I mean, I think I mean, he hit in spring training this year, and that was his shot to really make the team. I think they were seriously looking at him to possibly make the team at 19 years old.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't.
This year in Double-A San Antonio,
he didn't play well.
He only had 10 games.
Yeah, well, they brought him up at the end of the year to give him some seasoning.
But we have no.
So in A-ball, he hit 206, and then he came up to Double-A and hit 188. I mean, the problem is he's still only 19, and offensively he's not developing yet. I think he's still a couple years away.
Because he only played in Double-A this year. A-ball was last year in 2024. 2025, I got 10 games, 41 plate appearances, no homers, 5 RBIs. That's in the minors.
Did he get hurt?
He must have to only play 10 games.
I thought he was in single A before that.
In 2024, it says single A. And then I think Arizona Fall League. He played 113 games last year. I'm on Baseball Reference.
Oh, this is the same back injury that started in 2023. I thought that was done.
No, he's only got
Yeah, no, he's okay. He's finally been cleared to get back behind the plate. But yes, he only played the 10 games this year. This is the same back issue that started in 2023.
That's brutal. So yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's health with him.
Yeah, he's been dealing with a lower back stress reaction since April of 2023. He's missed several. He missed time in 23. He missed a month in 24, and he missed all of 25. This is not good for a 19-year-old kid to be having back problems.
No, definitely not. Thanks, Tommy. We'll see you soon, buddy. We'll be on. Thanks for stopping by.
There's no way you see this kid anytime soon. He's probably 3 years away.
Yeah. Quick question: was the Ryan Housley trade good or bad?
For who?
I mean,
depends on which side of it you're sitting on.
I mean, I'm gonna say it didn't work out for the Mets. That's for sure.
He was terrible in New York.
I mean, it's so hard, right? Because I mean, the Cardinals weren't really playing for anything, so maybe good for them to just get something for an expiring contract. But we were looking at the moves the Mets made at the deadline. They're like, damn, 7th, 8th, and 9th, they're going to be lights out. And Housley couldn't make that transition. So
it was bad.
Good for the Cardinals, bad for the Mets for sure.
Yeah, okay. Crazy. So Plex says he pulled his groin and then he hurt his back rehabbing. Oh, geez. Yeah, because he's had this back thing since 23, but I thought it was done.
Dang.
Explains why I heard nothing about him all year.
Dang.
There's just too many minor leaguers to keep track of them all.
Yeah. What does Cleveland do this offseason? That is a great question.
They better make Jose Ramirez happy.
It's that, and I think the Guardians, what's the status with freaking Class A and Ortiz? That story's just been pushed under the rug. We've talked about this. Are they waiting for the postseason to get over before they address it? Guardians are so weird to us. I don't know which direction they go. They're not a high spending team usually. They wheel and deal to get guys. You know, they dealt away Andres Jimenez last year. He was a Gold Glove second baseman. They sent him to the Blue Jays. And then they send away Shane Bieber too, or was Bieber a free agent? Either way, I think he was a free agent.
I think we looked at it. I think Bieber has an option.
Well, no, when the Guardians let him go.
Oh, when they let him go. Gotcha.
They traded him, right, at the deadline? Because he signed back with the Guardians, and I think they traded him.
He was rehabbing in AAA.
That's right. And then they traded him to I don't know.
He's got a player option for 26. So if he stays with the Blue Jays or not is up to him.
So I don't really know what to think about the Guardians and where they go. But they do have a good farm. They got Travis Bazzana that's going to come up at some point here. Right? Steven Kwan is still a contact machine at the top. Jose Ramirez is a 40-40 guy, perennial 40-40 guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Every time we say, oh, the Guardians don't have a chance, here they are winning the division again, out of nowhere.
Yeah, when
So
you think they can't do it, they do it. But I do think Jose Ramirez coming out and saying what he said is important. This is a guy that took a hometown discount so they could spend the money on players, and they've yet to produce much. Now,
mhm,
he's not entirely right. They have spent money. They spent money to retain Bieber. They spent money to extend other players, but they've not built out that roster. And I think that's what Ramirez is looking for. Is you traded away Naylor on me, so now I lost my kind of power buddy in the lineup. It's kind of Jose and then a bunch of guys. I do think they'll. I do think they'll go find a bat, but I don't. But they're going to do what they do, which is then compile the rest of the roster with guys off the scrap heap and see what happens.
yeah. It will be interesting. I don't know which way the Guardians go. I really don't.
Yeah, yeah. They're a tough team to figure out. Because you look at 2025, the Guardians were just over 100 million, and 20% of it's Jose Ramirez. Kwan's arbitration, so they're gonna have to pay him. I mean, there's really not a lot of other movement here. Everybody else is pre-arbitration. That's the thing. Like, you look at their roster, you've only got 2 guys on veteran contracts. Sorry, 5 guys on veteran contracts. Everybody else is in some stage of pre-arbitration or arbitration. They're all on original contracts.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing.
I heard they're changing their name back to the Indians first and foremost. Then they signed Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn, and Trevor Bauer.
Oh my goodness, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Give us some Wild Thing. I'll take that.
We talked about this too a little bit last show, Paget, about like if it's in game and I'm on second base and you're not hiding your signs and or your location, I have zero issue with it. If you're giving away your pitch grip in the glove, no issue at all. If you're using technology to relay signs, then we're talking something different. But other than that, I'm all for it. Be better.
Yep.
Disguise your signs. So.
Oh, I forgot. The Guardians have John Means.
How that guy, like, no offense to John Means, how that guy is still somehow hanging on to a major league ball club blows my mind. He hasn't pitched in 10 years.
I know it feels like it's been forever.
Ever since he had his no-hitter, how much has he actually pitched? Not a lot.
I think he's made less than 10 starts.
He came up in 2018, one game. 2019, he was an all-star, 31 games. 2020, 10. So that's pretty much a full season. 2021, he made 26 starts. He had his no-hitter in there somewhere. 2022, 2 starts. 2023, 4 starts. 2024, 4 starts. 0 starts in 2025. 0 games in 2025. Yeah. And we're somehow still on a roster.
Still getting paid.
How?
John Means is getting paid $6 million a year, and he hasn't been in the field in what seems like forever.
God dang, man. What am I doing with my, like, you can pay me $6 million to just not make a start. Please. That's crazy.
Well, they're currently paying you nothing to not make a start. That's working out just fine.
For them. Not doing me any good. I just, man, I don't know. That's crazy to me how you've not cut ties and just been like, thanks, but no thanks. You haven't made a start in 4 years.
He just keeps getting passed around like he's somehow gonna like wake up one morning and be like, oh yeah, I'm good to go. Let's roll.
I mean, the thing is he is, and he's 31. Like, we're not gonna bounce back in. I mean, are we going to be a reliever? Like, I don't know. I think it's crazy.
I don't think you're going to see. I wouldn't be shocked if you don't see John Means ever again.
Yeah, crazy. All right. Well, I think we're gonna call it. This was a long one tonight for sure. I love it.
All kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely love it. We will be back on Thursday. So we do this free form all the way at the end of every show. So we'll break down, the championship series up until Thursday. We'll talk about the games that happened. And then, we'll open it up to you guys again. If you come back, we will have trivia on Thursday as well. So come back Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope all the teams, except for the Dodgers, do well. Until then, see you later.